Welcome back, episode 98 of Revisited, and usually when we do Revisit It, if it's something we haven't seen in a little while, we'll rewatch it. We've done it for the Spider-Man movies, when we were talking about Cosmonaut. We've done it for things like, not The Last Jedi, that was just off the dome, but typically when we want to revisit something, we'll try to consume whatever it is, like Whole Cake Island. We reread Whole Cake Island. We reread Dressrosa for the Dressrosa disaster, that type of thing. This time we decided not to do that.
We don't need to.
We truly believe we do not need to for this one. And two, it's just too much.
I got it.
I do not want to watch the Snyder cut.
The smaller details will fly away, but I got it. It's fine.
And I don't think he'll bring up the smaller details. It'll be the big sweeping, how this made me feel.
Family, redemption.
Compassion. Thank God Zack Snyder got his movie.
We're done.
Yeah, we know what the video is going to be. We are talking about why Zack Snyder's Justice League is a masterpiece video essay by FilmSpeak. I feel like either we've done FilmSpeak or FilmSpeak was on a viewer request month and we didn't get to it, but he was very high on the list. I know we've done Filmento, which was the Man of Steel one.
Enough with the film names.
But how will you know I talk about movies if... Then again, we make Naruto AMV, so I can't really talk to these people. What's up? Oh, no! It can't be! That can't be him.
I will walk out.
Now, I can't remember if that was horrible on his part or if it was High Top Films' part that made us pissed.
I don't know if it was him. It was him. So he did why the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the perfect Spider-Man movie featuring High Top Films video essay. I remember that being off.
No.
I remember that. Do you not remember
I truly don't.
It was a whole lot of this Peter Parker, and our only comeback was all Peter Parker.
I remember the all Peter Parkers.
Oh no,
dude! That video is truly gone from my mind. No. I only remember High Top Film talking about the way some of the scenes were shot and the dynamic lighting or something. That's like the only part of that I remember.
Well, let's see what we thought about it. Oh, there's
the rise of heroes, of tormented, tortured, conflicted, and isolated individuals with remarkable abilities.
Shut up.
Yep. All right. I have a code of how to be Spider-Man as opposed to the other Spider-Man. Man. I guess that truly was our point. The straightest of faces. Unbelievable.
It was baffling.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
I guess that was just the main
that
point.
was it. Because it was just constantly, no, but this Peter Parker does this, and if other films don't do it. It's like, they do, and they did, and they have.
And they will continue to do so.
I need to watch that again.
One of these days, we're going to have to rewatch our...
I'm telling you, every time I listen to a Revisited, I listen to the score and I rescore it.
Oh, okay. You're gathering your score.
Yes, I am. I clicked off of it. I had the description.
How fast are you getting through them?
Not at all.
I was going to say for episode 100 we could redo it, but no.
There's no
We're
way.
like 2 weeks away from that. That's impossible.
We kind of need to have a talk about what we're doing.
Clearly these people don't care about what we do special-wise. Clearly.
I care. FilmSpeak brings you their Zack Snyder. Is it a team of people?
Maybe.
Doesn't matter. Brings you their Zack Snyder review and explains why Zack Snyder...
Or maybe they identify as they.
Sure. Justice League is a masterpiece in this video essay.
Is that it? And then is it a wiki entry?
Okay, I thought it was a wiki entry. Because it's long.
I'll go geek!
After almost 4 years, the fans have persevered, and the Zack Snyder cut is finally coming to.
We
HBO
did
Max,
it, everyone!
starring all these people. Justice League is the definitive version of Snyder's DCU team up that was previously destroyed by Warner Brothers and Joss Whedon.
No,
Yes.
This is basically a new movie.
I don't know about that. Yeah, are you speaking about film?
I am speaking about film.
All right, I thought so. Fueled by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless actions, Batman, whatever, face a greater threat. Together, Batman and we know. It's massive in story and scale, but is Zack Snyder's
so big, y'all?
Is Zack Snyder's Justice League movie one of the best comic book movies of all time? We think so. Not we, us, but
no.
I'm just making sure. No. I don't want to get clipped out of context.
I don't think any of our fans. You'll get clipped anyway.
Of course. The Snyder Cut movie.
Moms just say kids, and it's like, DA, here's a link.
Hovering. The Snyder Cut movie is in all caps, towering cinematic achievement.
It's so big, y'all.
Is it small or big? I don't know. And in this video essay, Griffin expresses his joy for the Zack Snyder Justice.
Okay, so it must be a team of people. Because when we are doing our individual, more scripted things videos, I feel like we're gonna say BG and DA as opposed to just I.
I miss when we weren't.
When we weren't named.
That was fun.
What a time to be alive, huh? It was when they started joining the Discord. They knew us then.
It's like, well, we kind of gotta.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's get into it. How many views does this have?
Was that a question?
No, that's a question.
Okay. This has 200K.
I think I'm going to start asking this before the video even starts. Based on that description, what do you feel this video should merit views-wise?
It gives the people what they want.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it is
in line with
what it should have.
Okay.
You know what? Probably a little bit less because he has, at the time of this recording, about 100K subscribers. So it's outside people coming in, but is it 100K plus his normal views? Doesn't know. Don't know. Don't care. Doesn't matter. Surprise! Ant-Man 3 is much better than you think.
Is that by Film Speak too?
It is by Film Speak.
I wish you would have saw. Did you see Ant-Man 3?
Oh yeah, we talked about it.
We should have did.
It's gone.
We should have did that instead.
But it's fine.
It's not fine. It's not a good.
It's
movie.
not bad.
It's bad. Dude.
I don't think it's bad. I think that there's a
You
lot
just
of bad
said you don't even remember
That's
it
not
now.
bad. That's
yes,
not
it
bad.
is.
Nuh-uh. That's a whole different thing. There's bad
because
and then
for you,
nothing.
bad is nothing.
No, but nothing is bad. But bad isn't nothing.
Okay. So if that sounds like transitive property that you're just kind of twisting.
No. It's not the same.
But if it's so nothing that is moving from your mind, that's got to be bad. Oh no.
To communicate with people in the quantum realm. It's Hank's failings from the first Ant-Man all over again. And this element of exploring family dynamics and the damning effect of secret keeping helps further tie the Ant-Man trilogy together. This is also a great parallel, ultimately, to what's happening with Scott and Cassie. Scott is following a Janet-like path of when she was down in the quantum realm, wanting to return to her daughter, and is willing to do...
Just go ahead and add this to the list. Just go ahead.
We should have did that video.
I didn't think to look for Ant Man videos.
But we really can now.
It's a flat, just whatever. But you say you've turned on it seems. Because I remember you coming into the room going like, yo, this is a nothing movie.
It is a movie.
Yes,
but
it
now,
is a movie.
But that's not good enough for me. And because it's not good enough for me, it starts degrading in my mind.
That's fair.
I feel like if you're not pretty good at this point in Marvel, There's bad.
There's no reason why it shouldn't be pretty good.
There's no reason. Even Ant-Man 2, which people don't like or feel fairly nothing, I can shrug my shoulders on some days and go, it's pretty good. I can't.
I remember literally zero about that movie.
You don't remember the van?
Was that the one where there was I think it was a carnivore or something that he turned real big? Or is that the first movie?
A carnivore?
A carnival. And he was in the water and he had to turn real big.
I think that was the second one.
Okay.
The reason I say that because he didn't have...
Yeah, that was a reveal in Civil War.
Yeah.
So that's... That vague image of him stomping around really big in the water is the only thing that I don't remember a villain.
You don't remember the van? The villain was Ghost. She like phased through things. She was all white.
I remember one thing about this movie.
You don't remember? The van came into play into Endgame.
You keep saying this.
Because the van with the horn, it came into play in Endgame. That's where the machine was that Scott was stuck in the quantum realm in.
Sure.
The one the mouse pushed the button on at the beginning of... It's that van. It played an integral part throughout the movie.
The after credit scenes as well. I remember that.
That's crazy.
I need to watch this movie again because it is poof.
Oh, dude, it'd be... but that's not really a revisited. We gotta figure out what we're doing for 100. Let's get into this thing.
Zack Snyder's Justice League, an unprecedented story of fandom perseverance fighting for
harassment. I am tired. I am so tired of this. The fans, the way they reacted was so positive, and thanks to them constantly pushing, we did it, y'all. When it was truly some disgusting stuff going on. But review bombs and all that stuff.
I will say there was good and bad.
Of course.
I will put that out there. It was not simply all bad.
But you shouldn't just
be like, hey, yo, it was unprecedented fans. Like, you gotta look at both sides of this. Yeah, you had the good stuff, but you also had the bad stuff.
That's like, oh, fans finally got Melina into MK11. Well, you were sending death threats to the devs. I'm not forgetting that.
Cause bigger than any one individual and seeing justice carried out. It's a film whose story is far bigger than the 4-hour superhero epic fans, cast, crew members, and the Snyder fans have fought for since the release of the 2017 corporate-made...
What does he mean is bigger?
Longer. Uncut.
But that's... Yes, it is. Lengthwise, it is bigger. But are you mean...
Scale-wise, it's bigger. Because they go to more locations and there's more sweeping shots.
What more locations?
I think they explored the mascara a little bit more.
Through that arrow ceremony, there was 8 minutes of singing and praying to an arrow? And then Wonder Woman just walks up like, oh, the arrow.
Is that not more? Is that not bigger than what was original?
But that stuff is the stuff that we don't need. We don't need this ceremony for this arrow.
Was it bigger? Was that scene bigger than the original?
Yes, but again, we always have to talk about just because it's this doesn't mean that it's good. Just
Correct.
because it doesn't mean that it's good. Yes,
Correct.
it is by definition bigger. Now let's talk about the quality.
And creatively bankrupt Justice League. The The story of the
I
Snyder...
don't think it was creatively bankrupt. I think it just wasn't a good movie.
Yeah. We don't know like what was mandated, what was just Josh doing it.
There's a few things you could tell that was Josh doing it.
But we don't know how much of. We don't know if they were just like cut this, or if they were in the editing room.
But you want to talk about creatively bankrupt? But it was legitimately the best Superman in the DCEU. Yeah. Well, at least the Snyderverse, I should say.
I hope he gets into why he believes it's creatively bankrupt. I said I hope that he does, not that he's gonna.
Do we have timestamps?
We have timestamps. Would you like to know the timestamps?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, let's go.
Just to see if he does talk about it.
Timestamps. I was still on the Ant-Man video.
How could you ever leave?
A superhero fantastic epic. Family. Compassion. What? Superman has a nice chunky 4-minute clip.
What could you possibly say?
Flash, a little bit shorter at 3 minutes. Faster. That's a timestamp. Unforgettable sequences.
He's gonna praise the hot dog scene.
The ultimate superhero team up. Thank you. He doesn't talk about it. Now, I will say this. The timestamp of 0 to 25 to 2:30 is Justice League. So maybe this is what it is.
We are at 25.
Okay. Maybe this is what it is.
Cut stretches beyond the confines of any cinematic universe and exemplifies...
I'm sorry, hold on.
You can't just say words.
Let me hear that.
Words have meaning.
Let me hear that sentence.
It stretches beyond the confines.
Let me hear that sentence one more again.
The Snyder Cut stretches beyond the confines of any cinematic universe and exemplifies not only the power of community and fandom, but the beautiful and symbiotic relationship between a filmmaker and his devotees.
No other cinematic universe has had fans rally to get a movie made, is essentially what he just said there.
It's truly one for the film history books, and the fact that the Snyder Cut exists as a fully realized feature film...
We did it, y'all! We did it! Okay, cool, he did it.
Yes. Now let's talk about the quality. It's always to the quality. Yes. There's a footnote of, he did it. Good. Now let's talk about the quality.
Fully realized feature film is nothing short of a miracle, and it's all thanks to the demand and outpour of support from all of those.
This is like the 5th time he said
this has been a fan blowjob. Is he curing the well? Is he flavoring the well? So where fans come in and go, yeah, we did do it.
This is cool.
Thumbs up.
To see a creative's vision rightfully brought to life. In the end, it really...
I did not have personally enough faith in Zack Snyder because I had not liked enough of his movies before to be like, I need to see his vision realized.
Yes. I don't think Zack Snyder is a good storyteller. I think he's a great visual storyteller. He is the WWE. He is a man of visual flair and moments. How you get to those moments, maybe you'll fumble those moments, so be it. But there will be enough for people to go, do you remember that moment?
Just big enough things to be like, yo!
Because, we watched the first night of Mania. Mom's like, this is one of the best Manias of all time. And I'm like, this was pretty good.
Yeah. But you know what? That Man of Steel moment where they're flying and punch. I'm like, it's a good moment.
And that's a moment.
The beam.
That is a moment.
The neck snap, and that's all I remember about that fight.
I remember Superman lazily jumping over a tanker as it explodes behind him.
Oh, I gotta be careful. I could get hurt by that. but Superman.
Doesn't matter what I thought of the movie or what hundreds of others thought of it. It's a film made for the fans who fought tooth and nail to see it completed, and its creator who put...
No. Nothing matters what blank thought. You just put your opinion out there. It doesn't matter what I think about Demon Slayer. I just put my opinion out there, and if people want to gravitate towards it or reject it, that's on them. Stop with this, it's a film made for blank, because it sounds very much like Super Mario Bros. Is a film made for fans and children.
Tug's collar.
And critics are like, yo, I care about story and this ain't it.
His proper stamp on the Justice League movie. Many will love it, many I'm sure will dislike it, but it's
Okay, I love how the positive many will love it.
They will love it.
And others
many will
dislike it.
Not hate it.
Love,
many will
dislike.
They will. An affirmative. They probably will not like it. Come on now, dude.
undoubtedly the movie that Zack Snyder wanted to make, and for that,
no, it's not.
You have to
because we always have to go back to he did not want Martian Manhunter at the end. So this is not the movie that he wanted to make.
It is also a movie he added shots to. So it wasn't even the original movie he wanted to make. It's a whole different movie.
And this isn't even the movie that he wanted to make with the remake stuff because they couldn't get or didn't want or Cavill was not interested in coming back. So they just used a bunch of reshots from him.
Movie that Zack Snyder wanted to make, and for that, you have to admire the guy. He has an unparalleled and incredibly specific way of making movies and telling stories.
Paul, I do not care.
Directors?
I don't care if a director always, their style is having the left side of the screen be completely blurry. And that's just their style. I don't care. Make
JJ with a lens flare.
Yeah. I don't care about a director's style.
Is it good?
Is it good? Can we talk about it outside of the director?
Was it appropriate? Because his style is a lot of slowed down action sequences. But many times in Zack Snyder, so many times in Zack Snyder's Justice League, or even the Bats v Soups and all of that, the slowdown made no sense. Like when Wowo is just like swinging a sword or something, it's like, there's so much going on. This doesn't merit a slowdown in this moment. It's not as epic as you think it is.
An overwhelming experience and immaculately projects the ideas and visions in his head onto the screen. You know exactly what a Zack Snyder movie is going to look, feel, and sound like before you ever step foot into a theater. So
what does a Zack Snyder film
What does he have
like?
to do with sound design?
What does it sound like? I don't know. Was there a unique Zack Snyder sound?
Maybe when it slows down, there's like a no. That's his signature. I'm slowing things down.
Is it?
I don't know.
But wouldn't that feed more into the slowdown stuff instead of the because outside of that
itself.
What's the sound? Because if you get like, let's say 5 slowdowns and 5 booms, is it just that expectation of those 5 that you're just like, I know what's gonna go on when I walk into that Zack Snyder film? What does it sound like, film speak?
Either you're on board with him as a storyteller or you're not, and I'm not here to try and convince you otherwise.
I disagree, because this has been a whole bunch of, isn't it awesome he got a chance to do this? And there will be people that don't like it, but it's just amazing, and you have to commend the guy. I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to convince nobody.
Dislike it, but this is not a good pause.
It's like when Mac was doing the creation versus evolution thing. It's just like, I put the Almighty and the God of everything on the right, and evolution on the left. It's like, well, we see what you're doing here.
I'm just here to say that after almost 4 long years, I've finally seen the Snyder Cut, and yeah, it fucking rules. And this is why I love Zack Snyder's Justice League.
That's not the title of
It's not?
your thing.
What? Are you sure?
I'm tired of people
I
going
don't think
because
that's the
I
title.
liked it a lot.
No.
It is a masterpiece.
And that's the same thing.
I just rewatched Ready or Not. I love that movie. It is not a masterpiece. There are problems with it. I think it's a good movie, but there
loved it,
are
right?
issues. What?
You loved it.
Yeah.
So that means it's a masterpiece.
It clearly doesn't.
What's the title of this?
Zack Snyder's Justice League is a masterpiece.
And what did he
in
just
all
say?
caps? He loved it.
Oh, so
It's
transitive
so
property, love equals masterpiece.
I don't. Nobody says I masterpiece you. Don't. Safe search on. What are you even looking up?
What are you even looking up? Somebody had to say it.
Say what? I masterpiece you? Dude, people's minds do not work like ours. We're stupid people.
After the exhilaration of inventing a new trick, you've got to name your new masterpiece, your new masterpiece. You can use exhilaration or...
Nah, don't even try that. Don't even try that, boy.
Just saying, people said
That
it.
sounds like a muck thing. They were trying to say olive juice. Nah.
I'm just saying.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? And welcome to Film Speak, where the conversation continues after the credits. If this is our first time meeting, hey, my name is Griffin Schiller. I'm an LA-based entertainment journalist and film critic. And if you want to be a...
Is there something to be said about having the last name of Schiller?
I'm sure some dissenters have made the connection.
Oh, Phil would be all over this.
Yeah,
like a hyena.
Guy's name is Schiller. Figure that. But oh, dude, so many detractor channels have went down.
Yeah.
Outsider, Snort Hogan, Forbidden Math. This arc is not good now.
conversation, you are definitely in the right place. Consider subscribing to the channel for more insight, analysis, and interviews behind...
Can I just say that this is such a basic bit layout of a room?
Yeah, it's I don't really like it. It's not really saying much. There's just a couple of...
I like the Japanese 007 posters.
Sure. But it's just a couple of posters in a frame. It's just sounds...
It's not even like... You're a critic of film. But it's not even like films that are anything less than just action schlock. And action schlock does not mean bad. It's just action schlock. It's fun action stuff. You got Avengers, you got a bunch of 007 stuff. I don't know what that cartoon...
Incredibles.
You got the Incredibles. I as a film critic, I would just have a bit more variety.
Yes, I
in
would
my
have
layout.
greater, because if you're like, yeah, if this is our first time meeting, hey, welcome, hello, and we're seeing you as a 007 fan, Avengers and Incredibles. It's like that doesn't really speak to why we should. Why not
the ability to?
Why
speak on.
not a bunch of Justice League posters, a Batman, a
You know what?
Wonder
That
Woman?
would, based on whatever you're talking
Yeah.
about, that would have made a lot of sense.
your favorite movie.
This is a nitpick, y'all.
Yes, absolutely.
And before we go any further in this mini review, video essay, analysis, whatever, this exploration of Zack Snyder's Justice League, go ahead and jump down in the comments section and let me know your thoughts on the film if you got a chance to check it out.
Okay, so he just spent 2 minutes blowing the fact that the Snyder Cut happened. And,
It's because of you, the fans.
And let me know what you think now.
Why would you come to... There's going to be very few people that come to a video like this and without liking the Justice League.
Yes. You've got the outliers like us who just want to see
We're here.
people that don't like a piece of media hear people talk positively about it, or people that are positive on media want to hear somebody speak negatively on it.
There's going to be the people like in the Discord where they'll link the video and just going to listen to what this piece is saying.
They're so goofy.
And that's but I will not seek out something like this outside of a revisited because I get nothing from this.
Nothing.
Because you're going, it's a masterpiece, and I'm like, it's literally not. So what do you have to offer me? where your thesis is, y'all, the perfect movie? Question mark.
Know which character you felt had the best moments. Obviously try and be respectful and spoiler free, but let's get into this thing. Let's talk about the real Justice League. If you know anything about Snyder, then you know that Excalibur and The Road Warrior are two of his favorite films of all time.
I did not know that.
I didn't know. I've not seen either of them.
Nope.
How much influence do these movies have over his other movies? And again, we always have to look at it as a director is not doing everything. There are story editors. There are normal editors. There's people that do lighting. They have a lot of power, but it's not like they're doing they're not writing every piece of dialogue.
To me, this is like someone like Lil Uzi Vert saying, yes, oh, one of my influences is Eminem. And it's like, well, you don't really sound anything like that. So did he influence you to just be able to rap? Because you clearly don't take things from him. So I would assume this is about whatever visual flair those films had, as opposed to their storytelling aspects, because that's what Snyder is known for. He's a visual
As
filmmaker.
we know, film speak will get into this, and then we'll be enlightened.
Yep.
As massive influences informing the kinds of stories he's most interested in telling and the kind of grand scale action he seeks to deliver onto the screen. He's also got a great...
Okay, never mind.
Road Warrior grand scale action, I think it's just a bunch of people in cars fighting each other. I again couldn't tell you. Excalibur, it's just a bunch of people fighting. Like, yeah, what's the difference between like in Lord of the Rings or something, which I've also never seen? I
would have preferred if he had explained it, because for the people who have not seen those movies, to explain what they're about that influence his storytelling, that would be very helpful to somebody like me who has not seen.
Because all you got is a car flipping and a guy holding a sword to somebody else's throat.
Of mythology, specifically Greek mythology, and the different ways in which these centuries-old stories mold, change, deconstruct, and rebuild such monumental fictional icons.
Road Warrior? Greek mythology? I don't even know if Excalibur is. I think that's King Arthur, and I don't think that's a Greek mythology.
How does Greek mythology mold the superhero mythos of today? Yes, Wonder Woman is Greek, absolutely. But soups? What are we talking about?
I guess it's kind of like an Iraqi thing where he
all
liked those
powerful
guys.
like Zeus. It's like, that's your only connection.
In Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I'm going to henceforth be referring to as Justice League because it's the one and only real Justice League, infuses Arthurian lore, Greek mythology, extravagant grand-scale action spectacle, and intimate, introspective character drama to deliver a remarkable superhero.
Pause. But didn't the Justice League do that?
Absolutely, it did.
In a remarkable superhero, he's gonna say experience.
Didn't Wonder Woman itself do that?
Yes.
Essentially.
You're again talking about things that other things have done. Say experience.
And
Say it.
intimate, introspective character drama to deliver a remarkable superhero fantasy epic for the ages. This
Wrong.
Couldn't even do that. For the ages?
Yep. There will never be another thing like this in our age.
Probably, but for good reasons.
goes without saying, but Justice League is a fucking beast of a film. Not only with a 4-hour runtime, but in terms of the story Snyder is telling.
Okay, what was the purpose of that slight speed up there? That's what I mean when I'm like, it's at times it's a lot of just visual noise.
That is meant to be cinematic.
Yes.
You got the snow all around, the slow down.
But again, that quaint speed up.
Yeah. It's just meant to be cinematic, and just like that's his style.
Like his previous 2 entries in the DCEU, you just get swept up in the sheer grandeur and sensory.
It's so big,
You
yo.
just get swept up. Look at that big house. Huh? Get swept up in this. We don't know the story behind why it's burnt down or what the purpose of.
It's but so big.
Look at it. You'll get the story maybe a little bit. Yeah, it burned down. That's the story of it. Shut up. Look at it.
Just off the minute amount of information we've gotten so far from this video, it feels very much like film speak covets emotional responses over coherent storytelling. Because he's just like, you get swept up in it. Which means you just feel something for it. And that is what it takes to be a masterpiece to him, I assume. Just hype, I guess.
Of it all. Drawing.
There's your experience.
Finally got here.
Like Cody Rose, 3 months too late.
From his background as an artist, Snyder establishes a world and populates it with such vivid, deep.
He's going to praise the hot dog scene.
No, he's not.
It's right there on the screen.
Okay, it's here, but he has very limited footage to use, so he's going to use whatever he can. I trust film speak more than anybody.
Tale in layered characters. There's a remarkable.
Okay,
layered.
I just want to hear the whole thing.
Sure.
And just want to know if it's any different from any superhero movie of the past 4 years.
It will be.
Snyder establishes a world and populates it with such vivid detail in layered characters. There's a remarkable amount of specificity that could only come from the mind of a singular vision.
Layered characters, no examples. Layers it with no examples.
Specificity. Cool.
Here comes the example. Yes, cool. What? Please tell me the specificity. Film speak.
He allows moments to linger and marinate, savoring.
Let them breathe. There's no problem with letting a scene breathe, but it shouldn't be at the cost of brevity.
Yes. If something like this where that picture is sinking down for 15 seconds, what is lost by trimming that to 8 seconds? There's not like holding on to a character's face, like the end of The Last of Us, where Ellie's looking around. You just see little tiny eye movements of her where before she goes, okay. Mm-hmm. You just see little tiny eye movement. And that says a lot. But here, a picture is sinking. So what do we get for that?
Every last piece of human emotion.
Oh, it's flying up.
The narrative stakes are catastrophically.
Pause. Go back to that.
Yes, sir.
Because he goes the human emotions with the picture.
He allows moments to linger and marinate, savoring every last piece of human emotion. The narrative stakes are.
What is he talking about? Again, take out the images here and put in almost anything. Put in fairy tale. What changes until he says the word Joss Whedon, Snyder, or Batman? What changes by him going, he layers it with multi-layered characters and all this other crap? This is horrible. I don't understand why people do this. Why they think that this is any sort of quality.
Because they think the Justice League is a masterpiece.
I understand that, but you should be able to explain.
No, you're not understanding. If your ability to critique and absorb a film leads you to believe that the Snyder Cut is a masterpiece, why would you be able to articulate a point and explain why the thing is? When this is notably not a masterpiece.
Catastrophically high, and the physical
I'm sorry, can I just...
the narrative stakes are catastrophically high, and
what narrative stakes?
But surely, Film Speak, you must realize that was also in the Joss Whedon version. Surely you must realize that. So that can't be a praise that is purely levied on the Justice League, as you call it.
And the physical conflict is the stuff of legend, but the characters, the League members, they're so textured, empathetic, and...
So there's very many a time DA will throw off his headphones during a live stream. I don't know why that particular. Maybe it's just because of it feels like an anime wins type thing where I don't want to be here for this live bull.
I don't want to be here.
It's so unbelievably.
We talk
small.
about people going, get a thesaurus. But then this bastard just went, oh, I got you. And he hits textured.
As opposed to them smooth characters.
What are we supposed to draw from that?
I would assume he means that there are layers to the character because instead of a smooth surface like this thing, there's texture, so there's divots in it. So you've got the peaks and the valleys within this texture of my dresser right here. That type of thing. What do you do?
It's all just modeling 3D characters and how to get their texture right.
Yeah, there's what is it? Subsurface. I can't remember what it was called. I know some things use like sand particles to do it.
There's nothing about analyzing media that indicates you should use the word textured to describe characters.
He's breaking ground.
That's not what's happening here.
He's creating the art. How often do...
With this bush, he created the art.
How often did we hear paneling before we heard it from Mark? And then, how often do we now hear Mubs talk about paneling?
I don't know if we heard it enough or it just sort of washed over us as if it's just a one-word thing. It's paneling. It moves on. But then Mark was just like, nah, pimpin'.
I wish we had a pig go for our channel.
I wish.
So I could just go paneling.
I wish.
I gotta see, because it's probably just the YouTube API. I gotta see how he built that shit.
They're so textured, empathetic, and relatable.
This is worthless.
This doesn't even bear repeating, but I will repeat it. I do not care about relatability when it comes to a character I am reading, watching, or whatever.
Yes.
Most of the fighting game characters I play are women. I do not relate to being a woman. The emotions, because we're all people, absolutely. But out and out women, it doesn't matter to me.
Relatability matters almost none. It's crazy.
I don't like or dislike wrestlers because I relate to their character. If they're reworking the character itself, if it's any good.
When I speak about a character and what makes them good and why I like them, relatability is not in the top 20 reasons.
I don't think I've ever said, hey, BG, why do you like this character? I don't think I've ever said relatability or because I relate to them. It's moments. It's things they've done. It's things they've said. It's who they are.
We could have a 3-hour conversation about Usopp and not hit relatability once. Enough of this. Enough of these words.
What good guy character is not empathetic? Oh, the characters in The Boys, they're empathetic.
How was the Joss Whedon version not empathetic? If you're saying that this is empathetic, you surely must be relating it to something that's not empathetic, like the Joss version. And how is that not empathetic? Moving on.
Or Justice League, empathetic and relatable. At its core, Justice League is the formation of a family and the rise of heroes.
Pause. What conversation did Aquaman and Flash have?
You, Barry.
But I can't remember any other one. I think they had a little bit of a conversation when Barry was just like, I can run and zoop zap him back to life.
Yeah. What would make Superman and Batman feel like a family by the end of this film?
Yes. Why are they a family?
By the time this shot is here. I would give you Wowo and Cyborg. I may give you Wowo and Barry. Definitely Wowo and Bats. I mean, it's mostly Wowo.
She had one conversation with Aquaman while they were watching them dig.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that conversation, but I remember saying that I feel like it would have been better if they talked more about their people and how it's just like crazy how an Atlantean and a Themyscirian are just chilling here together when we're supposed to hate each other, right? Maybe we're not so different, you and I.
Or even Wowo just like, I grew up being told to hate Atlanteans, and he just goes, I grew up down the shore.
Like, well, join the club. I hate them too.
Yeah, there's so many places to go with that. I don't remember their conversation.
Of tormented, tortured, conflicted, and isolated individuals with remarkable abilities who've long lived within the shadows, banding together to fill the void in their hearts and stand for something larger than themselves.
Do we feel like Wonder Woman has filled the void in her heart because
of course not, because 84 happened. I know this is post 84, but
I don't feel there's what growth in terms of going like I need to get over him was done in this movie. What feeling of her heart was done with her?
Barry would have did it for anybody. He just said he wanted friends.
Sure. Cyborg, it was the grand opening, grand closing of this is his struggle and the struggle is done. Absolutely, I'll give you him. Batman was he was done in the other movie. What feeling did he have to do? Superman, he showed up in the last 5 minutes. Shut that up. Aquaman, his thing happened in his movie.
And I don't think it's even fully resolved yet, because Aquaman 2 needs to happen.
So you got Cyborg. Little bit of Flash.
Little bit of Wowo, man.
Little bit of Wowo. No examples. Moving on.
You've essentially got 1 3/4 of the characters.
In Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, Snyder deconstructed the most iconic heroes on the planet.
That is why we did this video.
Yes.
That is all we heard, y'all.
It was a press play. Deconstructed the most iconic. Jesus!
You know what? That would be a fun behind the scenes thing to record when we're trying to figure out. Yeah, we're going to start doing that, y'all.
If we remember.
Yeah. Somebody remind us on Tuesday afternoons or Tuesday morning.
Ish. Maybe I'll put a weird in recording and not recording alarm and not know what it's for.
LEP wreck. What?
Them back up stronger, more optimistic, and enlightened, with a new worldview and purpose. The cynicism and nihilism of his previous two entries largely evaporates here for a triumphant return to a new age of heroes.
Oh, that's bullshit.
The cynicism and nihilism, it was the whole purpose of the Batman versus Superman was for Batman to be like, no, this cynicism and nihilism is bad.
But now we get to explore it as opposed to just starting.
What exploring? He's over it.
The movie itself is less nihilistic and cynical.
No, but that was just Batman that was nihilistic and cynical. And then he just went, no, you got a mama, don't you?
A little bit of whoa-whoa.
Little
bit of whoa-whoa.
This is...
As Snyder puts forth his most uplifting effort yet, showing the trajectory his vision had been heading down from the beginning. The biggest example of this is Bruce Wayne's growth in transformation.
And you said it, Batman. Like, we don't need this part now because we got it.
Into a leader.
What did Batman lead?
Yeah, he got them together. He put forth the effort to get them all together.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna tell us.
After the events of BVS, Bruce not only faults himself for contributing to the shroud of bleakness that's enveloped the world after the death of Superman, but seeks to do everything within his power to restore the beacon of hope that was taken from Earth. He operates not out of rage or pessimism, but, as Superman once did, on faith in the goodwill and humanity.
When did Superman do this?
Yeah.
I'm tired. You see, this is part of what pisses me off about this Snyder Superman stuff. You're supposed to supplant the Superman we know onto this Superman when Snyder did not deliver the Superman we know. Yeah, so when people go, we're supposed to, the hope and the humanity of Superman. We have not been shown this.
Those are other traits from other media.
Cause when Batman and Bat v Superman's just like, every time your little hero saves a cat out of a tree, it's front page. No, that's not the Superman we get, but that's the Superman we know. This relies on knowledge we already have about Superman as opposed to telling us about Superman.
Or showing us. You could have done that.
It's so frustrating.
He could have done that in a montage, but instead he had to have that sad
face. The saltiest face.
I'm at work right now.
Making a burger at Wendy's. Just like, this is my 300th burger at this shift. It's just another day.
Just another thing.
You're saving lives.
Find joy in helping people.
When he's around all those people during the De La Muerte thing and they're all rubbing on him, he should be shaking hands.
Something. Petting a dog. Getting
Instead,
a cat out of a tree.
It's just like, is this my life?
It's that worship stuff. That's the stuff that we see. It's not the hope and all. It's the worship, the deification of them.
God! It's so irritating hearing these people watch these movies and go, Superman embodied hope, and this is just a lie based on the Snyder film. A lie!
But it's also them telling us that, this symbol is the swirling hope that's never winding and ending, and so it's hope, y'all.
Alright, let me go destroy the town!
He didn't say that.
But he did it!
That wasn't his mission. That wasn't his stated goal.
Goodwill and humanity of mankind. He's somewhat fatherly to the other League members, acting as a strategic guiding force that mentors and motivates, bringing together these scattered misfits with the help of Diana, who acts as the maternal head of the team. Like Bruce, she's all...
This is more a Wowo thing. Wowo was talking to Cyborg heavy.
Again, I don't remember a Cyborg Batman scene.
And to be fair, it was 4 hours. So.
To be fair, it was 4 hours. But nothing's sticking out. Like, I remember the him doing the money thing, and then Wonder Woman rocking up was going, hey, come on over. But I don't remember, like, a mentoring moment. And it would help if he provided examples.
Also had her faith in humanity restored from Clark's sacrifice out of love.
Pause.
Clark did not need to sacrifice himself.
Number one, yes. Number two, that scene of that he just showed of her smiling to a little girl was after he splattered the blurred brains of 5-6 people.
Yep.
Terrorists, absolutely, but
Brains.
in front of brains, in front of children, just like
Something she knows all too well. Snyder acknowledges that while she's indeed a fierce and noble warrior who plunges headfirst into the thick of battle,
I have to pause because for some reason DC movies get hit all the time on our channel.
that's fine.
she also operates with compassion and care for those around her. She acknowledges Victor's loss and shattered life and appeals to him with empathy while trying to...
Hey, you see how you explained all of this?
Yes.
With her and Cyborg, and then for Batman, it was he gathered them around and gave a rousing speech. It's almost like Batman ain't that guy.
recruit him. She finds commonality between two people who hate one another while conversing with Arthur, breaking down the rough, careless exterior he puts up. Together, her and Bruce are able to inspire and encompass the best of who Kal-El was.
No, you can't say Batman was and not show not a single example.
You can't say Superman was, and this is not him.
You can't say who Superman was because this wasn't who Superman was.
There's so much yada-yadaing over the analysis of Snyder films and the Snyder films themselves, where we're just supposed to accept the Superman is our Superman.
And Snyder beautifully uses them as the glue that holds the team together. However, even Snyder acknowledges that the team isn't complete without the shining light of Superman.
Why would you use the boat scene? Literally, we brought it up as a negative.
Does he understand Superman?
You could have shortened that sentence to "Does he understand?" Give me a second. Let me see. Film speak Superman. How I Learned to Love Superman, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel is a bad Superman.
This is a 37-minute video.
I will not be. I might need to consume that video. Please watch Superman and Lois, y'all. If you want to know what's Superman. Oh no, you're so mad.
I am adding this.
Oh no! What? What happened? What happened?
No, sir.
Was it the Man of Steel one?
Yeah, it's the Man of Steel.
What happened? Was it a timestamp or a description or something?
He did. Did he do the Black Adam was great?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I forgot about that.
We're getting close to hard bad territory for this man.
Yes, we are. We absolutely are.
Hard bands are gonna be like our negative 10, so just don't mean nothing.
We got 3 people that we can revisit.
His whole life, Clark was constantly pulled in 2 different directions.
Already an issue. Already a
This is a problem.
Okay, so it seems like he's just speaking on the Zack Snyder Superman.
Yes.
But then you can't expunge all that hope and bullshit, because it ain't that.
His Kryptonian lineage, and his adopted family and home on Earth.
You mean the one that said, I'm not your father?
I ain't your daddy.
What a terrible Jonathan Kent. Terrible!
He was told by his adopted father his whole life that the people of Earth would not accept him as one of their own.
And what basis did he have for that?
Why
did he
there was no other alien.
It's stupid that he said that. There was no evidence to that. If he was a little kid and he lasered something and then they had to move away, that'd be something. But he's just saying this, and we just have to accept that this is his mindset.
The Jonathan Kent would have been like, even if the world doesn't accept you, we always will.
What does it matter for acceptance? You earn their acceptance. You think that I'm going to be in a burning building and it's going, ew, look at this guy. I'm like, no, Muff, it helped me. And then I'm going to be singing that Muff's praises. Why? What purpose would I have as somebody who Superman saved to badmouth him or to belittle him, to not accept him at all? What does that do? What is the mindset of he's going to save 1,000 people and then 1,001 people are going to hate and fear him? They're not going to accept him. How are you coming to this conclusion?
And that his very existence would challenge every belief system they thought they knew.
Is he Lex Luthor?
No!
Because that's a Lex Luthor mindset. Lex Luthor's whole thing is he thinks Superman represents the end of humanity because humanity can't grow because they can never be a Superman.
What questions would humanity have? Yes, there's aliens out there. Okay.
Are you here to hurt us?
No? Cool. Do you know of anybody who's here to hurt us? No? Cool.
Will you help if they are here to hurt us? Absolutely. Well, we can't do anything to stop you, so we're just going to have to believe in you.
Maybe it's the whole, God made Earth in 7 days and he made the universe and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, he also made aliens, but the Bible never mentioned that. It's like, maybe that's what the question is.
So it's the Christians' fault?
What else could it be? Because you got a yada yada over, yeah, I guess Noah did bring like 800 species of ants. All right? I guess he did. Fine.
No, the ants he could only bring 2 and they would just evolve. Oh, wait, no, never mind. He must have brought 800 species of ants.
I guess he did, okay? I guess God enchanted all the animals so that the lions don't eat and giraffes.
For 40 days and 40 nights.
Okay, they just did.
What were everybody eating?
That's fine. I guess we just have to accept these things.
The boat was big enough for elephants. There were holding parts on the boat for elephants.
I don't know.
Giraffes
didn't just hop on, just hitch your wagon to the boat. Because if it's that big, it's like, you're just going to let all of us drown when you bring in 800 ants?
Hey, we tried to tell y'all. Should have built your own boat.
Okay. How did he build it? If it's
It was the hand of God.
And we just have to accept that. But then
the Bible is a lot of, we just have to accept that.
It breaks down as soon as God's just like, get out of here, Adam and Eve. And it's just like they have kids. It's like, okay, so they're banging their mom. Because otherwise...
Or banging each other.
Where else is...
2 sons, 1 daughter, 5 people on the planet. Who's making
where
other
these
kids?
people coming from? God's clearly not making more because he's all disappointed at the ones that he did make, so he's not going to try to make better ones.
Did you hear all these book places like Florida and people are like, we got to ban the Bible?
It's It's rough.
There's something called Lepers Ate My Face, where it's essentially I didn't think the leopard would eat my face, so I was fine with the leopard.
Fine. The leopard was cool until he turned to me. I'm like, hey, chill out. Now we got a problem with leopards.
Exactly.
Once he started looking at me, it's like, hey, no. We got to get rid of these leopards.
And that's what it is.
15 people. Yeah, but
I wasn't one of the 15, so what was the problem? And now, and that's what it is with these book bans. This is like, we got to get all this trans and gay stuff out of here. The Bible has a lot of pornographic stuff in it and violence.
I guess we're getting out of I guess we're done with the Bible.
No. Can't have that.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just we will accept the dumb boat with 800 ants and all these termites and butterflies who live a day. Oh, these are problems.
God enchanted them to live longer.
Shut up.
Accept it.
But we'll accept all of that.
Dude, I apologize to all our Christian fans because we're going in.
The questions are there. But they're just like, yes, we can accept all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But then once it's just like, God also created aliens who he enchanted to not involve themselves with us for 2,000 years exactly, until this very moment, because he works in mysterious ways. That's when it's just like, all right, that's when the chain's gonna break, where people's gonna be like, this is trash.
I don't know, because then they could always just say that the people that wrote did God write the Bible? Or did a person write the Bible? Because they could always just say...
I think it's a bunch of stories that's just sort of passed down.
Okay, but passed down from whom? Because are they passed down from God, or are they passed down...
Adam and Eve, they wrote their story, and then they passed it down to Job.
They could always just say, they never encountered aliens because they've never been on our world. So they had no reason to write about them. Like dinosaurs. Which totally didn't exist, apparently.
Never existed. Weird bones, huh?
Those are elephants, sir. Yep. Mm-hmm. Have you seen an alligator? Checkmate.
they're just putting the bones together wrong. That's all that is. Just put it together right. You clearly got an elephant.
Fake news.
Fake news. Prove it. Like, well, we got carbon dating and all sorts of you see Leviticus 13.
I don't see the word carbon in here anywhere.
I don't see the word dinosaur in there. Show me 800 ants.
We're inferring the answer.
I can't go outside and catch a cat. How that bastard get a cheetah? Come on. 2 cheetahs.
2 cheetahs, 2 lions, 2 jackals, 2 mountain lions. You gotta think about both the species we still have here and the endangered species and the species that have been wiped out.
How do you catch an eagle?
Dude, I've seen videos of eagles eating their dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're just monsters.
And you're supposed to put out your arm like Superman and the Dark Knight. You was just like, the eagle, come to me. You gotta catch eagles, hawks, mockingjays, mockingbirds,
hummingbirds, bees,
wasps, hornets,
alligators, crocodiles.
All the fish?
I think the fish were chilling.
But if there's saltwater fish and it's a bunch of flooding from...
The science was not in there.
Science?
So it was just, the fish stay in water, all right? We're not getting a whale. That's where we're drawing the line, all right? The whale is fine.
But what would happen if, like, the crocodiles just ate the fish?
That didn't have, you said God enchanted them.
So God, all right, we're just back to this.
He just went, nah, we're gonna, without refrigeration, have enough food for 40 days and 40 nights for, let's be generous and say 200 species of animals. Mm-hmm. Including and its
that's
family.
Not generous. Let's be unrealistic.
Let's be unreal. Let's just be completely charitable and just say back then there was only 200 species.
Why do
of
we
animals.
have more species now? Because evolution does not exist.
We can talk about that crossbreeding.
There we go.
Between what?
Like an ant and a beetle, and it turned into like a fire ant or something.
But a pit bull and a collie.
There are breeds like that.
No, I'm saying.
Oh.
You just got 2 greyhounds, and how did that make a pit bull?
The wolves, the jackals, the hyenas, those types of things. It just eventually genetics.
Sure.
Mutations, crossbreeding.
Again, let's say
the Bible wins again.
200 species of animals.
Sure.
And we have to have enough food for 40 days.
Non-perishable.
Non-perishable. Including for people. You must also feed those animals. Those animals must also roam. Those animals also apparently didn't fornicate. Lest you need more food.
Maybe they let the rabbits breed and fed them to the other animals. The carnivorous
sure. But how much does a giraffe eat? How many leaves does a giraffe eat? Okay, so now we need to have non-perishable leaves.
Yep.
For 40 days and 40 nights.
Maybe they ran afoul of an island that just so happened to have some leafy greens for the giraffe.
No, because the end of the story was the dove was sent out and then it came back with a little shrub and it was like, all right, now there's land out there. Mm-hmm. Because the dove came
Maybe
back.
the dove has been doing that the whole time.
Okay, so then they're steering this massive ship.
Because the dove wouldn't be able to fly in the weather. That wouldn't work. And we're flooding the planet for 40 days. A dove is not making it.
Maybe. Let's be charitable.
Maybe can't be nothing but.
It wasn't uninhabitable until day 30 or so. Because it wasn't day 1 where it was just like, bam, instant flood. Okay, so it had to get up to that level.
There has to be more people there.
Yeah, you would think that they'd be like,
if you got 30 days of wiggle room, we can build
once they get up to your knee, you'd be like, hang on a tick.
This ain't letting up.
But if you do, do your own rowboat, you again would need 40 days of non-perishable.
10 days. Let's just say they got in at the 0 hour.
Sure.
10 days.
Sure. But you would still need all that time of non-perishable food. Mm-hmm. But there's fish.
Yes. But how do you cook them? Can you eat raw fish? You might be able to eat raw fish.
I don't think
the bacteria.
The bacteria, the bones.
They were made of tough stuff back then. They were
made from worse stuff back then. Factually, they were living like 30. They were made of peanut brittle. They were falling apart.
You gave birth, you were gone.
Yeah.
Clean rags, get out of here. God has already enchanted the fish, so maybe they're edible.
So once the flood stopped, it was just like, all right, now they're no longer edible.
Yes. The rain itself was what was enchanting the world.
Are we meant to believe this?
I'm just throwing out possibilities.
I don't remember the last time I saw a beetle. How did he get a beetle?
The ladybugs.
Them mugs don't live. I'm not going to believe God enchanted a butterfly to live for 40 days. And then...
Where did they contain the ants?
Where did they contain the animals such that they don't atrophy
from
lack of movement?
I'm talking about like ants.
Oh.
Ants and flies.
What did they eat? It don't make no
Dang, I don't got
sense.
my phone. Look up what they ate. Because maybe there's a passage in my phone's charger.
There's a yada yada, and you know it.
I do. I haven't read the Bible. Maybe the passage is just like, and they ate of bread and it was good. They opened the fridge and it was new food every day. Yeah, I see a lot of scrolling. I see a lot of scrolling.
Holy crap.
Yada yada. Bush.
It is yada yada.
Cool.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no, that face. Never mind. Here we don't go. We're not going nowhere, y'all. The going is over. Oh, dude.
Answer the question!
Is it a pastor or something? Or some type of Bible historian? I don't know what they would be called.
This is from the website God's Word, Theology and Other Stuff.
The theology of God's word. I feel like if it's the word of God, it should not be open to interpretation. There should be no theory on it.
The first step to clearing up any confusion to actually go directly to the source material in question. In this case, it's the Bible, specifically Genesis 6. Go read the events surrounding Noah's Ark, and you will see that Noah was instructed by God to do very specific things. Here's the quote. You are to bring onto this ark 2 of every living creature, male and female, to keep them alive with you. 2 of every kind of bird, every kind of animal, and every kind of creature that moves along the ground will come with you to keep you alive. You are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and food for them. Noah did everything just as God commanded. The Bible, yada yada.
Bring the animals and bring food.
Bring food. Bring every kind of food and store it. Mr. Jesus?
That's Mr. Jesus.
So I gotta bring like 8 kinds of papaya? That's right. And you will feast upon their papaya.
We just discovered kiwis. I think we can go without. What did I just say?
God, there are like 40 kinds of apples. Are we meant to... Okay.
Well, we'll go by colors on that one.
we'll eyeball it.
Corn dogs, God.
Really? I say upon thee, eat this. I don't know.
I mean, how long does like cornmeal last? And how do you eat it if you don't have a way to cook it? Were they building fires on the boat?
Again, the storage is outrageous. You can't store
Yeah, because
anything.
things need different temperatures depending on what they are, the perishables.
Sure.
So you need cool for some, warm for some, cold, hot.
But if you're just going, okay, yeah, but they brought 8 cows instead of 2 cows. It's like, okay, so now there's more space for cows that we need. So now this ship is double massive.
But did you bring the tools for the cows?
the slaughtering it and the
Being
the
able to cook
curing
it.
of the meat and the cooking.
Were seasonings part of it? Were herbs and spices
think so.
part of it?
I don't think.
I gotta eat bland cow for 40 days, God?
You rather be out there?
You know, I mean, can I get some salt though?
Yeah, go in that water if that's what your preference is. Wow, our God is not an awesome God. He is.
How many Bible stories are just God going, I can't believe they're doing this? He really built a boat. This mother about to kill his son because I said so.
What? He really out here doing this. And cut your hair. Pardon me? Do it.
God commands.
Right, you know.
I give unto thee.
Hey, tell them to eat that apple. What?
I'm bored.
That's a test.
We're trying to spice things up a little bit. I gotta believe in them. They gotta believe in me.
Yeah.
Curiosity killed the Steves.
We're working out the name.
Yeah, because that doesn't seem like a very feminine name. It's feminine. What are you talking about, God? I don't know. I'm a snake.
Hey, why am I talking?
Hey, why did my people lose the ability to speak?
Wait a second.
I did what you asked.
Yeah, that's what you. And I'm punished for it. Unless I didn't, and then the snake. It was just like the snake could just talk, and there was no other animals that could talk. And then it was just like, oh, you done abused it. I'm taking away your ability to talk.
So
but
wait,
why did the snake specifically have the ability to talk, but not the friendly emu?
And why would God punish all of snake kind? Because I don't think all of humankind was punished because Job didn't kill his son or something.
Or was it just like all animals could talk? Oh, the snake ruined it for all y'all. And the cow's just like, but I ain't do nothing. It's like, oh, piece of shit.
And then they just started stomping on the snake. But then why would Adam and Eve be able to keep talking?
I guess he was just cool with them.
They ate the apple. They did the thing.
But they gained the knowledge.
Of what? To speak? That snake should bite the
self-awareness.
apple then.
Self-awareness. This is why they
The
covered
snake
their
was
nakedness.
aware. Why did snakes lose awareness?
That's a good question.
Where were we?
Oh, we were talking about, because Jonathan Kent was like, oh, it could ruin the fabric of reality or something.
Yes.
It was
and
just
the
like,
aliens in the Bible.
yeah.
Okay.
Bit of a detour.
This is getting time stamped.
That would be for the best.
His biological father taught him to be a godlike symbol of hope.
He taught him.
Yeah,
He
no.
were the dead.
Yeah.
A computer program based on him did. He basically AI'd his son.
Yeah. That's just, it's such a fantastic, it's like, it was my whole consciousness. So anything that I would feasibly say, that's what I'm gonna say. So, any questions that you have, I can respond to it. It's like, that's really convenient, isn't it? Come on now. There was no moment of just like, I don't have that answer for you, Clark. What am I to be to these people? I've lived here for 33 years and they're such great people. It's like, are they great people? I don't know.
I've never met him.
I've never met them. I don't have any data or information on them, so I can only take your word for that.
Hope and spark the good he stands for within every person. Unsure of his place in the world in BVS,
Yeah, let's make out over this wreckage.
Corpses.
While people are climbing from the rubble, not 15 feet away from them.
Better time for this.
Clark faced the complicated response of the world.
I'm glad he didn't do the Batman eyes because they always look goofy in that one.
The complicated response of the world in the fallout of his arrival. He saw both the fearful cynics and those who wished to expose him as a fraud, and the love and
The fearful cynics was Lex Luthor. The people who wish to expose him as a fraud, that was that little black lady who was being blackmailed by Lex Luthor. Manipulated. And you got the people that were just like, boo, you didn't stop a bombing.
I couldn't.
Yeah, I would have if I could have. You see me in this extended cut.
For
Dropping like it's hot. You're just trying to be hip. but
just 10 years too late for everything.
But you would think he'd be like, you
That
see
boy, where he at?
Oh. Hey, play this link. It's the Rick roll. It's like,
Hey, I'm never gonna give you up. The little soups.
That's that Harley Quinn soups that I want.
Triton hated it. Triton hated
All right, banned.
He was like, that line was so terrible, and he delivered it so poorly. And I'm like, Triton, it is such a good line. It's so lame.
What is he doing? It's so good. Are we on for sushi later? You know how I roll, fly away.
He thinks he dropped the mic with that line.
The coolest
And it's so lame, and that's what's great about it. Oh, I roll.
Of humanity through Lois and his mother. At the end of BVS, Clark accepted Earth as his home and took his place as their protector, giving the ultimate sacrifice for their preservation, clinging onto the belief that men are still good. In Justice League, we finally see Clark fully become Superman in his purest form.
Based on what?
What?
He fought a dude. He hugged his family and fought a dude.
He had like maybe 20 lines in that movie.
Guided by the combined words of both of his fathers, Clark understands
What informed him of what Jonathan Kent said when Jonathan Kent went, hide yourself from the world. Nah, I'm gonna be Superman.
Yeah,
Maybe let a bunch of kids die. Nah, I gotta save everybody.
Combination there where he was just like, no, just stay away forever. And his other daddy was just like, no, be out there helping people.
What if Jonathan Kent, if anything, he fought against his dad's teachings?
responsibility.
Got a delivery.
That's in Bible talk.
Special delivery. I want that.
Special delivery.
And purpose of his existence and light he brings to the world. He is a person of two worlds and takes the best of both of them in order to become a true hero.
What is the best of Krypton?
The power.
What is the best of Earth?
The compassion.
This guy stinks. Couldn't even argue against fake bullshit you saying. This guy just sucks.
It'd be easier to argue against him if he was saying anything.
Literal nothing!
Justice League sees Snyder's compelling deconstruction and exploration of the Man of Steel evolve into its final form, and
I am not a man that typically goes gonk, but I want to gonk this and just come back to it a different day.
Compelling deconstruction.
I cannot believe this.
It's just a video that's anti-us.
Like, it really is.
Like
It's barely explaining.
If the Discord was just to pile together and commission a video from somebody and just go, do these things. It
KLX.
would be it'd be, if they were to do that, it would be this. Just like, what do you think you said?
Because I promise you didn't.
Whatever you think that you conveyed, you didn't. And that's, I understand the 2-3 hour videos that we do, but I would love for people to skim just for moments like this of just like, what did you mean? And for us to ask that question, you must realize I didn't explain myself properly.
No. Because then they'll just go, you're
They
too
didn't
stupid to
They
understand
didn't
it.
get it. I explained myself properly. You're not a fan. You're this. You're this.
Yeah, you already know how it goes, dude.
It's just that's
The argument is never the things we say.
It's never the things that we say, and when it is the things that we say, it's such poor arguments
Or completely misconstrued, like Oceanus, where they said that this building was here and then it actually isn't. I guess I suck. Literally didn't say that. Oceanus literally did not. I think he deleted those tweets, by the way.
He did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. I look for it.
Cowardice.
Superman, naturally, doesn't have nearly as much screen time as the other League members, the weight of his presence and his natural inclination to inspire.
Why are you showing Martian Manhunter?
Couldn't tell you, but you are right. This is a KLX video. The weight
It's
of
not
his presence.
real.
It is an AI generated. Hey, ChatGPT, make a video ALX would hate.
It's just, I'm just gonna say flowery words constantly while talking about this movie up. It's so grandiose. It's compelling, and
It's so big, y'all.
and you just move on as you just continue to talk and you continue to say nothing.
Just talking, just gums flapping.
The best in people is carried throughout and brought to a resounding crescendo upon his return, leading to not only some of the best Superman moments of all time.
You're too deep in the fandom of Superman. You can't look at this objectively.
No, I can't be objective. But he's doing Superman a disjustice. Dude,
One of the best Superman action scenes ever. Where he just lasered off his horn.
what moments is he talking about?
Lasering off the horn and punching them and the freeze breath axe.
Did he
thing.
say action or moments?
I think he said moments.
Best in people is carried throughout and brought to a resounding crescendo upon his return, leading to not only some of the best Superman moments of all time, but some of the greatest DC cinematic moments ever.
No.
He didn't explain what those moments were. So we're just left in the dark to interpret whatever
Agreed.
they were.
Agreed as a fan. They were some of the best Superman moments and some of the best DC cinematic moments. Agreed. Maybe the moments we're saying aren't the exact same. Maybe they're nowhere near the same. But we both agree it is one of the greatest.
And something right there, I would just take that 40 seconds of him going, one of the best moments, and you explaining that and just going, do you think that you explained yourself properly? If two different people can have two different moments of just going, this is one of the best Superman moments of all time. Do you think
It doesn't
that you
matter what
explained
I
why
think.
you believe that it's the best? Do you think that you've explained why you think that it's better than the other ones or anything at all? You didn't even bring up a moment. So how
And
can
that's
you
the
be
worst part.
confident in going that this is
I don't know what you stand for. I don't know what you gravitate
value.
toward, what you value. I have no clue what those moments you think are. Were they the action sequence where Superman looked at the Flash? Were they the moments where he got to see Martha and Lois again? Where they just had a down moment to talk? What moments were you talking about?
Moving on.
Victor Stone, Cyborg, Ray Fisher. As Zack Snyder stated long ago, this is where the heart of the film lies. So much of Justice League centers around Cyborg's origin, relationship with his father, and emotional journey, and it's also probably the strongest material in the film. As is the case with each League member, there's a section devoted to just Victor, where the origin of the character is established in a Birth of Dr. Manhattan-like sequence. Similar to that sequence in Watchmen, and for similar reasons, the origin of Cyborg is some of Snyder's finest work to date, accompanied by an organically metallic, pulsing soundscape from composer Tom Holkenborg.
Organically metallic.
That's an oxymoron. So this isn't Snyder. So again, what were those sound things that Snyder did?
That are so
Prevalent.
as a staple for him.
Signature.
AKA Junkie XL. It's tragic and emotional, but the true beauty of it comes from the complicated relationship between...
Is that the sun?
Yeah.
It's all orange. What the f-
Yeah. We're getting about that time.
Victor
Sun's
and
getting
his
real
father
low.
Silas. Even at his most negligent, you can feel Silas's love for Victor and the desire to make him a force of good in the world by giving him remarkable and unattainable abilities. Similar to
How is this dissimilar to what happened in Justice League?
how a conflicted Superman was guided towards the light by the love of his fathers and life experiences, we see the same happen for Victor as he steps out from the shadows into the light, not as the monster he initially sees himself as, but a hero with the power to change the world and make it a better place. Cyborg
Pause.
made...
Okay, you're talking about the journey, but how is it a good journey? Is it a believable journey?
He believes so.
Because he's just going, this is what happened. Yes, this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole mind, the mind palace thing,
freak.
Chris Angel, but where he just goes into his mind, it just goes, you could be happy like us. And cubes are manipulating him and showing him visions and crap like that. And he has to go, no, I'm happy here. And it's like, did we see that?
What's the problem? It was the computer and the mind and the box.
I just don't think that.
It was the big L7 square.
have been birthed from the elemental evil of the mother boxes, but his rage, anger, and isolation don't
Can you space that a little better?
It's spaced as perfectly as it could be.
You can move rage over, and you can move everything else.
There is
over.
no possible
You
way
can
to move it
everything.
further.
I don't
There's
know
no
why,
space.
but just the space between rage and isolation is bugging me. Isolation is just such a long word for this.
him. The story of
I feel like he should have done it vertically as opposed to horizontally.
I disagree. I think that was perfect.
Because then you can have the rage, anger, isolation, and it's all centered as opposed to this weird quad. But again, this is a nitpick, y'all.
The story of Cyborg and his importance to the overall story is something that should have been in this film regardless of the cut. And the fact that WB...
Wait, what?
Something that should have... don't define him. The story of Cyborg and his importance to the overall story is something that should have been in this film regardless of the cut. And the fact that WB and Joss Whedon decided to erase his integral narrative from the 2017 Abomination is nothing short of an insult.
What did they erase?
I guess how important he was in the terms of the mother box.
There was less of the stuff like I'm gonna give money to a girl and you can control all the missiles in the world and stuff like that.
No, there was that too when he was looking through all the information and stuff, I think.
But what else? You got more of the relationship with the dad, like when he melted
He's clearly
himself.
talking about something plot-wise that he's important to the mother boxes themselves in a way that it wasn't in the Whedon cut. But he didn't show this, so I'm just...
Well, he's gonna explain it now. Here we go.
Here's Justice League. Ray Fisher walks away with the biggest win and is the undisputed star of the film.
Oh, whoops. I guess he didn't explain it. I guess I'm a liar.
When will we stop believing in content creators?
If we haven't yet, I don't think we're going to.
Do you still believe in Triggered?
No.
Okay. So there is a threshold where the beliefs will stop. But that's a individual as opposed to the nebulous concept of a
Because
creator.
I've never met a stupider person. So that's not fair.
But to be fair, whoever the previous stupidest person you met was, you had never met someone as stupid as them until now.
No, but this is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
This isn't like
you met a 7 stupid.
Yeah, this is a ghost pepper, and it's like, well, jalapenos over there. It's like, well, no, this is completely different. So the peaks, as it were, they're lost causes, your triggers, your feels, those types of people. Where it's just like, again, like I said, if Phil came out and just went, that masturbation thing, that was all on purpose, I'd be like, I don't believe you. If he went, that masturbation stuff, that was all an accident, I'm like, I don't believe you. There's nothing that he could say that would make me believe him after all this time. So, lost cause. Triggered is so stupid that he's just gonna say whatever he needs to say at that moment.
In the very moment. And the thing with it is he's forceful enough for people to go, yeah, I guess that was kinda like you should not have let him got off on you like that in some of those instances.
He got way too much.
But it's just like yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so those types of people, dead song. But your common rank and file 80 out of 100,
have
absolutely.
you given up on Mark?
I am giving Mark more leeway now that I know that his heart is not in this.
You know what? That is very fair. Because he is clearly going through the motions now, because that's just the way he feels. Yes. He's going through the motions.
And if it's, hey, this script is going to be 2 pages shorter so I can spend a little more time with my daughter, that's fine. So I give him
if I go bi-weekly.
So that's the leeway that I'm granting him. So again, something like that, I don't know how much of that is purely what he believes and how much it is, I don't want to work on this anymore. So I'm just going to say, it's good and move on. So that's hard to say.
The pulse pounding action of Broly or something, as opposed to previous Mark might have been able to expunge a little bit more or expound a little bit more on what he means by that action. Have you given up on Cosmo?
Yes.
Then there is a line at some point. Because I think we've done 2 Cosmo videos.
Cosmo is very dishonest.
It's the dishonesty, it seems.
Yes.
Dishonesty and stupidity.
Yes.
No, I would even just say dishonesty, because we've met some stupid people, and it's just like, you're just an idiot.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's unfortunate. But you're choosing to lie.
Yes, the dishonesty might be the one.
But Triggered is also a stupid liar, so he's, again, the tippity top. Same thing with Phil.
Is Phil stupid?
I don't think he's smart.
I'll grant that. I'll grant he's not smart.
One of his recent pre-streams, this bastard, for legitimately 10 minutes, was, and this man was pig-splaining tier list.
You know, oh yeah, I heard that. We can rank them and
they can have different colors, like A, B, and C. Furious that this man is discovering tier lists and he's explaining it like other people don't know what he's talking about.
Phil always feels like he's 4 years behind of whatever it is. He was still doing his cam stuff when capture devices were getting more mainstream and affordable.
The React
and it took
stuff.
3-4 streaming, the React stuff, Minecraft. Always 3-4 years behind. Now, tier list used to be everywhere 2, 3, 4 years ago.
But
now it's time.
Old man is dragging himself up to be like, hey, you guys heard of this tier list? Yes, Phil, everyone has.
But it's going to be fun, interactive, chill streaming as he ranks chips or something.
On his birthday. No, sorry. He has his birthday off. On the day after his birthday, please give me money.
What is he even ranking?
He was talking about fast food. He was talking about horror movies, horror icons.
You have not consumed enough horror movies for that, Phil.
And then he had to get the idea for somebody to put a tier of just haven't seen or haven't tried. And he's just like, that's a great idea. Like, if I haven't had this burger, I can just put it in the
Furious.
I was furious at this man discovering this as if it's something
boomer.
as if it's just like you guys don't even know the depths that we can go. He just goes, he was on the tier list like, I'm sorry we're talking about Phil. I'm sorry.
I got another time stamp for y'all, don't worry.
But he just goes, this tier list has everything. It has horror movies, it has fast food. I bet you it's gonna have ice cream. Click, click, click. I told you it has ice cream. I was shaking.
I didn't hear the whole thing. I just knew about.
I was shaking. Just, oh man, I never wanted to wrap my hands around somebody's throat more than at that moment where I'm like, you don't need to be here, homie. Your time has come.
That's crazy. Most people are just like, oh yeah, we can throw out a tier list. Let's do it, guys. In the middle of it, they'll go, hey, let's add another tier here, down here, I haven't had, and all this stuff. All right, let's get going. This piece, like it's a revelation. What? It's Fork all over again.
And that's the worst part. Oh, it's the Fork all over again. So that being said, it's a good podcast where they talk about Phil and all this stuff. Of course, they had an art contest where it was just like draw Phil. They're gonna go off. They're gonna get it 3D printed. They're gonna get it painted and stuff, and then they're gonna sell that for charity.
Oh, that's cool.
It's great. This guy won, and it's the best thing. It's the guy. GUY. It's got so many references. I love this.
This isn't cool.
It's so good. He got the oozing arm, the axe, the headphones, the crystal foot.
This is the
cool guy. I think it's like genetically
upgraded.
It's the guy. Is it really him? It's so good.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times I've listened to that. It's the guy. Because I don't know why the dude just going, it's the guy.
I'm watching his Twitch.
Right.
Is that really
him? Dude, why would Phil get on the mic?
He had hope. And it was a mistake.
Phil, every time he steps outside, there's a little meme where it's just like, I'm safe in my box, and then you step out and get punched, it's just like, I'm safe in my box. That's Phil. He's like, I'm gonna shut these trolls down. Oh no, Latveria, I didn't, Leanna, no, don't mention them. Alright, no more voice chat, y'all. No more.
Done.
No more interviews, because I got cooked.
Did you see that, the DSP versus Secret Limited video?
Of course I did.
How all those escort, and then at the very end,
if you just need to know how much of a piece of this guy is, you ready for this? This is all you need to know. About 5 years ago, there was something called the Escort Saga.
And somebody just goes, Phil, because he had one thing wrong, he should be disregarded for everything for all time. You feel like, yeah!
If he's not apologizing for it, absolutely.
And then Phil's talking about his whole video was about this, and it was like half of his video was about this. And then at the very end, he just goes, length of the video, 2 hours. Time spent on the escort, a minute something. It's like, that's that Phil Bush of talking about it with such confidence and never watching it.
I think the confidence to be that stupid is what really sets me.
Yes.
Because if you were just a stupid person and just, you don't really know, but you're just trying to BS your way through something, I could accept that. But you're just like, no, of course not,
He
idiot.
did these things. Of course you can live for a couple minutes on 2 puffs of an inhaler, you idiot. well, maybe I'm wrong about this.
That inhaler thing I couldn't believe.
That's why I say he's stupid. Because you have to just be like, okay, so
Phil, the rainy day fund.
If 2 puffs of an inhaler can keep you alive for a couple minutes, a full thing can keep you alive for an hour. So you can just go into space and start puffing on an inhaler, Phil. Is that what you can do, you dumb person? The rainy day fund where he confidently just goes, no, rainy day fund is this. Well, this is just what I was told.
It's when you had plans and it rains. So you have to do something else, but you got a fund for it to take care of it.
It's the confidence. Because if he just went, isn't that what that is? No, he goes, this is what this is, and you're stupid if you don't think so. You just have to go, but Phil, here's empirical evidence. Well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's something else. And then he'll zero in on one person going, no, that is, you're right, Phil. And go, look, he said I'm right.
Dude, you might be right, because that's the same thing Trigger does. He zeroes in on that one thing, and he reads the people that are just like, you are right. It's just a tier of stupidity.
It's stupidity and narcissism.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dude, but I love Phil so good.
We need to finish this video.
We're not finishing it today.
It's crazy. How did this happen?
From Bible to Phil. This is going to have 5 timestamps. I've never.
When the casting of Ezra Miller as Flash was announced, I'll be the first one to admit that I thought it was a pretty awful decision, as Miller's on-screen persona in previous work didn't quite line up with who Barry Allen was in my...
He's an actor. He can act.
There.
They are an actor. They can act. This says nothing to their abilities. See what they can do and then judge them.
It's also... you would think people would have learned from Heath Ledger.
You would think.
Beyond that, do you know who Barry Allen is? Or did you watch like the Justice League cartoon, which was Wally West, not Barry Allen? Like, what have you consumed to lead you to believe know who Barry is?
I want to know why they believe this. Because something like a Mario and Chris Pratt, you just go, what the...
That don't make no sense.
That don't make no sense. And then you hear him, you just go, okay, well, we're done here. But what about Ezra Miller made you think that, nah, they're not, this ain't it?
Barry Allen was in my mind. And when you pair that with his off-screen antics and persona, yeah, I don't really care for the guy in general. However, separating the art from the artist and going...
And see, their on-screen is different from Barry Allen. And you go, but how? And they're off-screen, they're a piece of crap. Absolutely. But Michael Jordan's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
But on the court, I almost said on the field.
On the court, he breaking ankles.
Yeah.
Into Zack
But again, I would love to see why they were just like, Ezra Miller, ew.
But he said that, you know, the Barry Allen in my mind, I didn't see him as that.
But what's the Ezra Miller in your mind?
No. Who is the Barry Allen in his mind?
And how does it clash with Ezra Miller that you see on screen as they're acting? Again, something like a Chris Pratt, you can go, I've never seen Chris Pratt do a voice similar to Mario. So that gives me complete apprehension. As well as you got this guy over here who's been doing it for all this time. As well as he's casted just because it's his name. And it's a big thing for that.
You hear Charlie Day's voice, you can go, I can see Luigi.
That. And if we did a reaction, me and Mike did it. I was just like, Chris Pratt, what the... And then they went Charlie Day, I was like, now wait a second. Because you can hear that. But a Chris Pratt has never... And it doesn't fit the Mario that we have in our mind.
Yes.
So, I can say that based upon these things, Chris Pratt not having done a voice like that, his personality not really, the fact that we have a Mario that has been doing the Mario for all these time, that's why I have the apprehension towards that. Here, it's just like Ezra Miller on screen. What on screen? I have not seen, I don't think, Ezra Miller, were they in...
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts. Were they, I think they were in... Game of Thrones, if I'm not mistaken. Unless that was somebody else, and I am
That was
mistaken.
the dude. I know the dude from Misfits was in it.
Yes. But he's in a lot of stuff. Thank goodness. He's great.
Yeah. You know, Curtis from Misfits was in a TV show I was watching, and I was like, oh man, I'm really liking it. Season 2, it was either the end of season 1 or the end of season 2. I'm like, all right, when's the next season? Oh no, that's canceled.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but he was also in our favorite movie. Oh, the poster's gone. It was Candyman.
Oh, yeah. I took that down, bro.
I forgot.
If Eric would give me another one, I'd take Halloween's Kills down.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, mother, no! Why is he in this stinker of a movie? He did a good job, though. Oh, he was in Arrow. Oh, he was in Flash and Arrow.
Oh, yeah. They had a crossover. That was about it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess they were not in Game of Thrones.
There you
I
go.
guess I was thinking of any level of other people because I've not seen Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
You're good.
Yeah, I know.
But then again, I'm not a fan of the media.
That's what I was about to say. That's not my thing. One day we're gonna watch Lord of the Rings, and we're gonna be despised for it.
It's gonna be soon for me, because I had that on Twitter. It was like the 12 movie. Yeah, Mike did Lord of the Rings. I decided to instead of reviewing them as just tweets, to make videos, do 3 quick reviews of 3 of the movies I watched. And that should be fun. And Lord of the Rings is one of the ones I have yet to see. Yikes. I have yet to see 2 of them, and Lord of the Rings is one of them. Cause
yeah, I understand. I understand.
Film with an open mind, I have to say, Miller really won me over as Barry Allen. It's pretty insane how Justice League completely butchered his character, writing him with shallow one-liners and dialogue that made him pretty insufferable to watch. There's so much more to Barry than his energy, speed, and the occasional zinger. He's a kid struggling to find his path, torn between wanting to salvage his family.
That was in Justice League.
Yeah, I can understand. Just like you don't like the one-liners and all that stuff. Absolutely, you can. I'm not gonna fight you on that. If you didn't think it was funny, it's not gonna be funny. But this was in Justice League, but it's just more of it here.
Proving his father's innocence and wanting to live for himself. The scenes between Barry and his father are heartbreaking.
Justice League.
Yes, and you go the scenes between. It was one in the beginning and one at the end.
You can see Henry's lost all hope of being released and wants Barry to preserve his future because...
Pause.
That was in the Justice League, dude.
Yeah, you can see that because he says that. Those are almost verbatim his words.
Easy
Come
to
on
see
now.
Where it's just spoken out loud.
He sees the sheer genius and greatness that lives within him, even if Barry can't see it for himself. Sadly, Barry cares too much to simply move past it all. It's his father, his only living family.
Yes, this was in the Justice League. It's just more of it here. You're not saying that it's better. You're simply saying what happened. Yes, this did happen. How is it better than the Justice League version?
Member, friend, or human connection. Barry has no friends or family to support or love him, which is why when Bruce Wayne...
Why not?
...comes knocking on his door...
Is it just because he's awkward, or is it because he's doing all these odd jobs to make ends meet? We don't see enough of this outside of Justice League.
Yeah, even when he's in the flower shop in this Justice League, the dude interviewing him just seems kind of nice.
So we don't really see why. We're just told he doesn't have friends. Why?
He jumps at the opportunity to work alongside similarly gifted individuals. For Barry, the League represents more than the strong moral code and virtues he lives by. It represents the family, compassion, and guidance he's lacked and needed his whole life. His giddiness, awkwardness,
But again, when he's writing, he should have wrote in the mindset of, unlike Justice League,
this has 200K. He don't need to do nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
The people are already clicking.
But
They're already clicking.
Surely for yourself, you would do, but does he have that mindset? Or is he just like, this is going above and beyond, if anything?
Would you put out work you were not proud of? Now, I don't know FilmSpeak. I don't know if FilmSpeak is a company and he's just a member of it. Sort of like comic books, CBR, where they did that Naruto video and it's like, Niji, you're just a guy behind the mic. Mm-hmm. Did you write the script? Did you do anything? Did you edit the footage? Or are you just a voice narrating something?
Something like Red Letter Media. They all have a hand in.
Yes. So I don't know if you would put out your quote-unquote best work if you were just under a CBR umbrella, just like, you here, narrate this thing. All right, I'm just going to narrate the thing. They think it's good enough, I'm collecting my paycheck. But if it's just a group of friends that essentially built a company together, let's just say that, you should be putting out work you're proud of. So with the mindset of it is just an entity, an entity you created and it's just like ALX, would you put out work you're not proud of?
No.
Then I gotta assume this person is proud of the work they put out.
I don't see how you could put out work that you're not proud of. I can understand looking back on it and not being proud, but just in the moment, just like, yeah, when we do stuff, I'm like, this is a banger. We done put out another banger. Moving on to the next banger.
When I was doing AMVs, it's like there are ones from legitimately 13 years ago. I really love that clip I used. I really love how I used that.
And the ones that we didn't, it just stood on a hard drive and then we just chucked them into a big pile.
Yeah.
Because that's the stuff we weren't proud of. And it didn't get released.
Enthusiasm in the Snyder Cut is endearing and sympathetic, with the character playing like the protagonist in a coming-of-age film. Hence, why Ezra was cast in the first place. Finally finding
as in moments exampled by,
in direct opposite to, in contrast of,
the dream home in life he's always wanted, while discovering who he is and what he's capable of in the process. Barry spent his entire life living for his wrongly accused father, and in Justice League, he finally steps out
And do you think that it's a problem that we're told that he is simply doing that?
No, we need to be told. Do you want to see it? You want a 5-hour cut? We got that for you.
To the light.
We could see more of his daily life.
Yes, absolutely. 4 minutes worth of
that would be a lot more helpful.
Pushing himself further and faster than...
What a horrible runner.
They are the best. Running is hard.
But, okay, there's a difference between running hard and mechanically not knowing how to run. I feel like a 3-year-old knows how to run.
Sure, but do they know how to film run? Because it's got to be...
I mean, but if you're Barry Allen, The Flash, all you got to do is put your hands out, don't ball them up, and just do this pumping motion while you're running. All this, you ain't like,
but is
he's
that,
noodle arming it.
Is that dynamic enough?
Oh, I hit stop. I guess we got to stop.
Oh, well, goodbye.
We had about 13 minutes left.
He's within him. Outside...
Close to where we were.
Accused father, and in Justice League, he finally steps out into the light, pushing himself further and faster than he's ever gone before, and uncover...
Dude.
Yeah, that the end of that where
he
dabbing. It's just like, all right, well, maybe cut that 2 seconds.
Light, pushing himself further and faster than he's ever gone before, and uncovering for himself the greatness that everyone sees within him. Outside of Cyborg, The Flash may have the most compelling arc in the film that
No, he's one of the people that have an arc in the film. Yeah. I think only 2 people do.
And his arc is
a true arc.
You can't do it. Yeah, I can.
But here's the thing. both Flash's and Cyborg's arcs are essentially opened and mostly closed in the same film. Aquaman's is still open-ended, just like you gotta take your place, blah, 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 our people, blah, 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 blah.
Wonder Woman was just little bits and pieces. It's basically closed already, and
Bats is just an exploration of what we saw at the end of Bats v Soups. So there's basically only 2 truly beginning to ending arcs in this film.
In the third act, guided by the triumphant raw emotions of, again, Tom Holkenborg's score for one of the most epic and emotional sequences in, also again, not only the entire film, but DC's filmography as a whole. As you can see,
I don't see how he can say that. Where
He just did.
yeah, you're right, Dad. I'm one of the best. I did it. Come on now. This
What,
is
you didn't feel?
no.
You weren't triumphant?
Because
Sounds like a
again,
personal problem.
we said this last time.
Skill issue.
There's nothing. There's nothing being lost by this. He said that there is an issue. There are strange things happen when this happened.
Yep.
But we don't see that. I said this last time, but if chunks of his armor were getting chopped away, he was starting to disintegrate. Bloody nose.
Sort of like the Justice League cartoon where he's running against the Brainiac Lex.
If he started growing a beard and then it disappeared and then grew back and then disappeared again. When he started reaching out, his fingernails started growing. Something. But no. He pressed the win button
And
then he patted himself on the back for doing it.
Yeah, there was no inherent danger. Maybe it'll play out in Flashpoint.
Sure, absolutely. But this is 2 years later, 3 years later. When you set up strange things happen. He did it twice. Nothing happened. And then it's just like, okay, but in this film, strange stuff happened.
But then again, I think in the trailer he said he went back to save his mom. So he probably did it again.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. The hard going back and preventing this thing.
So it's
large ripplings instead of just going back and pushing somebody.
Flaps his wings.
Zack Snyder's Justice League is packed to the brim with unforgettable sequences that rank among the finest in the genre.
I agree, film speak. Speak your film.
Was that it? Because we're on Aquaman.
No. It can't be. There wouldn't be a... It's the Man of Steel video that I was on.
0 for 2.
Unforgettable scenes. 1402.
1404. Click it and see if Aquaman comes up.
No, he does.
Yep. I don't know why that's the timestamp, sir.
When it comes to Arthur Curry, Snyder takes a far subtler route.
Wait, is it just characters? That's why it's a masterpiece? Because all he's done is talk about the characters.
He hasn't talked about Steppenwolf.
Why would... what can you say, dude?
Or Darkseid.
What can you say, dude?
Aquaman's arc doesn't necessarily build to a triumphant conclusion, largely because this film does precede James Wan's movie, which sees Arthur fully transform into the Aquaman. But Snyder does begin to dismantle the wall Arthur lives behind. He acknowledges that despite the whatever attitude he gives off,
Why did that need to be slow motion?
What is different from the Joss Whedon version?
he actually does care about things. There's an incredible scene between him and the Flash during which we see how the other League members and people in general have judged him superficially, projecting opinions and attitudes that pair with his salty exterior. But the best part about that moment...
I don't remember that scene.
What was the scene he was talking about?
I do not remember that
He
scene.
didn't show it. He didn't explain what happened in it.
is that Arthur retorts that he never in fact said any of those things people assumed he felt. He reveals the empathy and love that lives within him. Perhaps the genius in casting Jason Momoa as Aquaman is that people assume things due to his appearances and how he carries himself. And because he's this gnarly dude, bro.
Dude, are you seriously going? He thematically casted Jason Momoa as a way to parallel Arthur Curry and his...
Yep. He don't miss. Let him cook.
I'm taking away let him cook.
They don't deserve it.
They don't deserve it, one. And two, it's used in the worst of people.
But I don't think anything of Jason Momoa. I don't know this individual.
Nope.
I'm not in the mindset of a muscle man has to be a big dumb guy. I think nothing. I don't know anything about Jason Momoa, so I had no preconceived notions of this individual.
I knew him as the little bit I saw of him in Game of Thrones, and then I knew him as a goofball.
Metalhead who doesn't mind telling you to piss off, he doesn't have a soft interior. The truth is, Arthur's had a...
I would not look at anybody and go, they do not have a soft interior. Who judges people like that?
difficult life. His mother was thought to be murdered by her own people, and he was rejected by the antiquated, totalitarian, and fascist ways of those very people he was born to lead, and doesn't feel entirely at home amongst the people of Earth. Yet, he doesn't...
Hey, it's almost like Man of Steel would have been a better Aquaman movie.
I was just going, that's all Aquaman stuff. That isn't this movie.
This part where he can. He gives food and protection to a small Nordic fishing village, and through those small actions, we can see that he does have the nobility and compassion to not only lead and unite the people of Atlantis, but the whole world as well. What's so fascinating about...
That's a bit of a jump, don't you think?
I don't know how much of the world is the sea.
I suppose so.
All right then. Thank you very much.
What does saving people have to do with nobility?
Can you hear my water? It's funny because nobility is supposed to derive from noble, and noble is supposed to be someone that is worthy through acts of kindness, whatever you're being a noble person. But nobility is, you're born into it. The kid king of Game of Thrones was nobility, and he was a piece of
But just saving people doesn't speak to your nobility. And even if it does, what does that have to do with ruling the entire world? How did you come to that point?
Not ruling, leading.
Leading, sorry.
Yeah, make sure you get it right. Unless you're talking about the Atlantis War, to which he may have led the planet.
Arthur in Justice League is we finally get the foundation for the person he is when we meet him in Aquaman. While Vulko and Mirror may have appealed to his humanity to fight for the preservation of the world, he still hasn't entirely warmed up to them, abiding by a I'll do it this one time mentality, which brings up the other thing I love about Zack Snyder's Justice League. It respects the films that came before and after it. It doesn't contradict.
How do you respect the films after it?
Mira has an English accent in this movie.
All of the Atlanteans do.
They didn't in the other one. So you can't say that it respects that movie. Wasn't it like only those of noble blood can breathe or speak outside of the water? Something like that.
Potentially. But I wonder if that was the Justice League that said that.
I'm pretty sure it was in the Aquaman.
I haven't seen Aquaman in a very long time.
I have seen Aquaman one time.
Same. I wonder if it's any good.
That's a good question.
Because I remember marking it as good. And I marked Wonder Woman as good, and I don't think that's very good.
It doesn't contradict or attempt to rewrite the history of the DCEU.
Didn't this movie say that Wonder Woman was out of action since the
That was
War.
Bats v Soups that said
Oh,
that.
terribly sorry.
Yep. Get it right.
Okay.
By the sole version of
Wow, we're clapping for continuity?
Apparently,
That's all it takes.
It's like
It's consistent.
It's that image that somebody put in the Discord of just like Goku didn't beat Goten and Gohan. It's like, well, yeah, okay,
And we're clapping for this, I guess.
Yeah.
Because other people do beat their children. Cool.
okay then.
Snyder. He operates within the confines of a shared universe, acknowledging the great things Patty Jenkins, James Wan, and so many others have done to further the stories DC is telling. Much of this probably has to do with the fact that Snyder intended for this to be the version of Justice League that was released in 2017, but still, it was nice to see him keep those ideas intact after all these
What
years.
ideas? Moving on.
Now,
Hey,
for the most
Steppenwolf!
part, a film is only as good as its villain, and I'm honestly just as shocked as anyone to learn that Steppenwolf is actually a well-rounded, compelling villain. I mean,
He has to be talking about comics. He cannot be talking about this film.
Why would it be? Has he said the word comics?
Maybe he said comic book movie? at some
Probably.
point?
That makes sense.
we could talk ad nauseum about how blank, lifeless, and cliched the 2017 version of the character is, but it can all be summed up in Steppenwolf's design. The 2017 version looks more human, but feels artificial. Snyder's version looks alien, but he gave him
What the do you mean by artificial?
Uh-oh, we're hitting that critical point of frustration. We accept only for so long that you say nothing. And then it crosses that line.
I can't imagine writing that. And then saying that.
And then not correcting
either
that.
editing it or sending it off to be edited and then watching the final cut and just going like, yeah. It's nuts.
artificial. Snyder's version looks alien, but he gave him human eyes, and so there's a vulnerability there, and he ends up feeling more human.
Bro. This is not a thing. This is
somebody
not a video.
desperately grasping at anything to make this seem better.
It's so funny that so many people think film review is easy. And then we watch these types of things, these analysis videos, these reviews, and y'all aren't saying a thing. I cannot believe that after everything you've consumed, every interview and analysis video or review that you've ever consumed, after everything you've watched, after everything you've created, you still do not have the capacity to fully explore why a thing is good or bad, or even simply explore. Not just say the word artificial, not just say the word
Nuts.
he has human eyes and he feels more human.
How does he sleep?
Comfortably.
With great difficulty.
Maybe he jabs his head
I was
into
about
a
to say.
wall.
I was about to say maybe he has like a handhold that he just sort of clicks into so he can lay on his back.
But you know he's gonna roll over unless you're tied down. You're gonna destroy
Strap
that
me
thing
in, boys. I'm going to sleep.
for Darkseid.
Steppenwolf is a worn and weathered soldier. He's someone who's fallen from grace and forced to wage war as retribution for his failings.
That was in the Justice League as well.
Yes.
Steppenwolf has been at war for what seems like an eternity in an effort to reclaim his former place at Darkseid's side. And while he remains steadfast in his mission, he questions his place in the conflict. The cause and ideas he once believed in have changed, becoming more violent and ruthless, and he's unsure if he exactly agrees anymore. Everything is in the name of
Has that-
Darkseid, and
Was that?
Maybe with his special eyes, he showed the worry and the doubts. Yeah, subtle.
I don't believe that this was in the movie.
Just because he didn't say it out loud doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I'm sorry, things need to be spoon-fed to you for you to understand.
Yeah,
But us,
noodles.
Zackophiles, I think they're called.
That's horrible. That sounds like something that you don't want to be called.
I don't know what Snyder fans are called. But I feel like it's a Zackophile.
Slowly, Steppenwolf begins to see that perhaps he's not as
What is with this After Effects snowfall that he just keeps putting into the
Dynamic. And that I don't need to explain further. It is.
No, it is what Snyder does, which is visual noise.
valued as he thought he might be. Nevertheless, he pushes on, clinging to the hope of being a respected member of Darkseid's inner circle once more. And speaking of Darkseid, man,
hey, Darkseid, you know that thing that you've been looking for decades? The thing that's gonna allow you to rule the entire multiverse? It's right here. Come get it. Nah, you go get it for me, and I'll come scoop it up later. Wouldn't you think that he would want to be like, oh, toot sweet. Let me hop on over there right now. Give me the coordinates. No. You get it.
After he got pieced up the last time, Darkseid don't want that smoke.
Hey, they ain't still here, are they? I'll be there, but you take care of the small fries for me.
You get two of them. I got the last one.
it's just fucking terrifying. He's a man of few words, but
you can't be his first instance. Within 5 minutes of being on the screen, he's almost cut in half. Dragged away almost in death.
The throes of death.
Cowardly retreat. Lest he die.
Retreat, sir.
Lest he die.
Yeah, no. He was...
And now we're just told that this is an imposing motherfucker.
Oh my god, Darkseid. Again, imagine Thanos coming down and just getting pieced up by Steve Rogers. And then we're just supposed to be like, oh, here comes Thanos.
Wait for next time. Because he has the Power Stone. Okay, we don't know what the Power Stone does. We don't know what the Omega Beam does. We don't know what the anti-life equation does. So him just having it means nothing.
The weight of his presence is unfathomable. And
these are very pretty words that are
amazing,
as empty as my stomach right now because I have not eaten today.
he establishes himself as the ultimate adversary for the Justice League with such minimal screen time.
And he got dragged away.
And then
he got his head almost cut off the next time by Wowo. What are we doing?
He got almost killed by a bunch of people outside of Ares that we don't know how strong they are. They are no longer around to have any sort of feats. They've barely been mentioned before. He was almost killed by them. And now it's just like, uh-oh, here comes Darkseid for what? Another round.
But again, he lost at the end of this film too. So, like, what are we afeared of?
What are we afeared of?
Zack Snyder goes...
Dude, this doesn't feel nearly as good as Avengers, the first Avengers.
No.
Because where are the team attacks? Where are the cool fake team attacks? The ultimate superhero. Half of these muffs are introduced in this film.
So we don't know them. We don't know their abilities.
Great,
but just the shield legitimately thing that Iron Man and Cap do, that's just like, oh, that was so good. Just something small like that. Iron Man and War Machine just back-to-back firing.
Things like that. I can't think of like a cyborg meets Superman attack.
Yeah.
a whoa plus X Batman attack.
Because it was Cyborg that was doing the mother box thing, Flash running, and Aquaman and Wowo just sort of swinging. It'd be nice if, they switched weapons or one of them started dual wielding something.
I think Arthur hit her shield at one point.
To push and explore the themes, narrative.
What? It's not real, all right? Man. It don't matter.
This is the fakest constructed video in history.
Okay, you guys.
All right, come on over.
It's not a thing. So what's the point of getting mad about it for? It's like, oh man, the politics in this movie are all over the place. It's like, well, they're in this movie. It's fake. It don't matter. Nothing matters in this video because it doesn't exist.
It's like a constructed president in a film. It's just like President Johnson. Like, there's never been a President Johnson. So why are you mad about
I don't agree with this politics. Well, really? Do you not? With this movie?
You realize this actor does not believe these things for real, correct?
Man.
Snyder goes to such great lengths to push and explore the themes, narrative, and characters
of stank on themes right there.
Themes! You can see his tongue when he said it.
Man.
Justice League. He allows moments to linger and play out naturally.
He's already doing.
He said this before.
This is not a real video. It's okay.
Fake.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just
we
not a real
got
video.
it. It's not a real video. -3 for the attempt.
Anybody can let something breathe if they got another hour and a half of a movie they can tell.
Each scene beautifully flows into the next, making...
Does it?
Can you show two scenes that beautifully flow into each other? Because that arrow scene is not beautiful.
For a gripping, perfectly paced narrative with insane payoff. Each member of the League gets multiple moments to shine and prove themselves. However, it's the moments together, the team dynamic, where each hero interacts, listens, naturally builds trust and unity among one another.
Yep. Why would Superman trust any of these people? He don't know these muffs. He knows Bass and Wowo.
That got to me. Whether it was in the Batcave plotting their next move, or off in pairs having a heart-to-heart, or fighting side by side on the battlefield, Snyder...
Pause. Yes, these things all happen.
In the Justice League.
I'm just going that they happen.
Yeah, they do exist.
They do exist, film speak.
How does he have another 6.5 minutes to say something? I'm going to say maybe a minute... 10 minute 20 is dedicated to wrap up and subscribe and Patreon and all that. So we're looking at another 5 minutes of discussion.
Firmly establishes a bond between these individuals, giving us the Justice League I've known and longed to see on the big screen my whole life.
That's not my Superman. Yeah. That's not my Batman. That's not my Flash. That's not my Cyborg.
You must realize that Superman does not have a bond with half of these people, and he's the most important member. You must realize that. You must realize that there was a conversation between Cyborg and Flash. You must realize that.
See on the big screen my whole life. These remarkable individuals brought to life from the comics and animated series united in a way that feels distinct to Snyder, yet wholly familiar. And my God, the fucking action sequences are mind-blowing. We know Snyder enjoys to mine the character drama in his films, but we know the kind of epic action set pieces he's capable of pulling off, and Justice League's action is nothing short of god tier. Like comic splash pages ripped straight from the panels and plastered onto the screen, these sequences
There's a lot of washed out colors and glows and some gradient blurs, Gaussian blurs.
So, we must supplant this with, unlike the Justice League or unlike other superhero movies, this movie feels like it's straight out of a comic, as evidenced by...
I mean, Multiverse of Madness feels like it's straight out of a comic, but it's a bad movie.
I'm turning on it. It's pretty good.
Stop lying to yourself.
I have not watched it since. And
Will
I
you
fear
rewatch
I
it?
never will. It is not a good movie.
That is the correct choice because you'll only realize just how your initial claim was. Oh, no good.
Was poor.
No, it's
poor. I've watched that Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange fight again. That's a good
Oh,
one.
yeah, that's a good one. The notes themselves, that's a
Love it.
fantastic. Straight out of a comic book.
Yep. Love it. Fantastic. Not a good movie.
Not a good movie.
Not only show the utter power, strength, and skill of the League, but see them actually being heroic. It's not all about
When? Where?
Man, I was about to say that scene where they saved those people. Why does everybody keep saying that? But that happened in Justice League. When and where? Oh, Wonder Woman killing those people to save the children. Okay. Murdering them. Oh, wait.
What?
That happened in
The Justice League as well.
There was I just remember that.
But I feel like that is a Snyder one that they used. That's a Snyder piece. So we'll give you one. Barry Allen, saving Iris.
Here's a bunch of money, lady.
That's not really saving people.
Saving her.
You're
she was
robbing.
gonna kill herself that night. We know that.
I don't.
She loaded that gun. She was gonna take her and her kid out.
Casey
in that order.
All right, I'm gonna do me and then you do you. All right, little Sarah. Gun in your mouth. Here, let me show you again. Now, once mommy goes,
you gotta take care of the rest. All right.
What do you do?
who can land the most punches or slice through the most bad guys, but are these saviors of Earth actually capable of saving lives? And the answer is a resounding yes.
I wonder what this says about the film itself, that Superman is in blue and red and not that black. What was the vision? Was this the vision or was the black the vision?
Again, I'm sure I sound like a broken record at this point, but Snyder expertly crafts some of the most awe-inspiring comic book moments of all time, with all the grandeur that comes with the director's name. The climax is a sweeping array of badassery and raw emotion executed in epic proportions. You thought Batman v Superman was operatic. Justice League takes the spectacle to Tolkien levels of theatricality. The tunnel sequence especially is a remarkable set piece that flows from character to character as teamwork prevails and we witness the League unite before our very eyes. And yeah, much of this is due to the genius of Snyder, but Tom Holkenborg's illustrious score is the key ingredient that's...
Music film speak. Music film speak. I don't like listening to people talk about music when they don't talk about music.
It's so funny because I feel like music is one of those things that it's really hard to speak on.
Yes,
because
unless you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like the instrumentation of things, that type of thing, or even I feel like rap music is easier because it's easy to talk about the way the strings of a beat are, or the lyrics that are said by a rapper, the way they wove in multisyllabic punchlines and that type of thing. But for like a Pearl Jam, Rain or Me. It's like, well, it sounds good, and I very much love that song.
I love Gorillaz so much, but there's very few of them that I could talk about outside of. Listen to this in bass. There's this one song on the new album, Cracker Island, which is a very, very good album. No, it's one of those albums that's just like no skippables.
Oh yeah,
It's
love
right
those.
in there.
Love those.
But there's a song called Oil that's featuring Stevie Nicks. And there's a part where it's she's doing a deeper singing voice and a lighter singing voice, and Damien's doing a lighter singing voice and a deeper singing voice. So it's like 4 different types of voices going all at the same time, layered on. And it's like you don't catch that like the first or the second time. It's just like but then I was just like, it's like all these, and I was just like, that's crazy good. But outside of me just going, this is what happens and it's good, that's all I got.
Yeah, you can't really say much more off of that.
Skyrockets Justice League into the fucking stratosphere.
Sure it does. Yes, it does.
Music film speak for the end?
No. Just an emphatic no.
This.
Hey, did you smoke crack today? No. No.
You sound less believable on that one.
I can't make it sound as impassioned as I did then.
The most, yes, that is correct. No.
Incredible music is what I had hoped to hear back in 2017.
Shut up.
Fucking Danny Elfman defiled the music of the DCEU.
This feels very much like a Snyder fanboy.
Yeah.
It's just how poo-poo the Justice League is and how much this is the awesome.
It's like jilted. It's like a jilted lover.
Absolutely.
That's just like, they did all these things wrong.
Again, best Superman. I legitimately can't say that Snyder ever touched a Superman as good as just Whedon did. Whedon's still a piece of but he wrote a alright Superman.
Has only had one theme, your theme. Yeah.
Hogenborg incorporates the musical history of the DCEU dating back to Man of Steel with new variations.
I guess technically it's history.
Sure. But by the time this sound hits your ears, it's going to be history.
Yes. So, Film Speak wins again.
Or the technicality.
Those are the best types of correct.
Flight. What are you going to do when you're not saving the world? Arcade, and so much more. His rendition of the Wonder Woman theme is electric and...
Dude, that Wonder Woman theme is... The good parts are really good. But that yelling...
But that's the part that they play. That's the part that they play all the time.
It's like, I don't want to hear that.
Constantly.
Let's just loop that sound again, y'all. Let's stop playing the sound for 4 seconds, and then she touches her sword and play it again.
But it is electric, as Film Speak said.
Yes, it's an electric guitar.
That's the good part.
Yeah, but it's an electric guitar. I'm sure it's electric.
The inclusion of a female voice in the mix really brings out the warrior in Diana. And similarly to how her theme in BVS functioned as an anchor to drive the action during the climax, Hulkenborg again uses that iconic theme to do the same.
The Wonder Woman theme is iconic.
Yep, sure is. Hey, are you saying that it's not?
I have never in my life,
Yes, you have.
once,
Yes, you have.
gone to purposely listen to that Wonder Woman theme. I have listened to the Batman theme from the new Batman film at least 3 times. I love that song.
I listened to it right when Batman vs. Superman first came out. So I was just like, because it kept playing just the and I listened to it that one time, and that was it.
How many times have you heard Tim Erskine's Batman?
That's not fair.
Why not? That's not what I asked you.
That's not fair.
How many times have you... Is it double-digit listen to?
Yes. But that's not fair. Because that's a legitimately good song.
It's so bad.
I can't say that.
It's
I
bad.
can't separate my love for that song
That's
with the
fair.
quality of that song.
That's fair. It's only bad because the dichotomy of who he's talking about. Like, if that was for like even a Martian Manhunter, I could feel
just something because it's so low key and jazzy.
Yes, and it's like I'm talking about
Batman.
Batman. What does it mean?
I can't go, what does it mean without you going? I always just have to do a little dance. After all this time, it still has me.
It's a gripping song.
And that's why I'm just like, no, that's not fair.
Before layering on other motifs.
Shut up.
We're also treated to a new Batman theme that feels
Are
far
we?
more gothic and refined
Yeah,
in
it does.
comparison to the aggressive and primal theme from Batman v Superman.
Sure.
Obviously embodying more of Bruce.
Is he playing the song now?
Is he? And which one is he playing?
Couldn't begin to tell you.
His growth as a person. His music for The Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman is all instantly iconic and perfectly
Instantly iconic.
Now, I'm not the iconic guy. That's not my wheelhouse. That's not my...
You know the boy.
I got my own things. That's one of them.
I can't.
Instantly iconic.
The other three are also instantly iconic.
So much so that I'm just gonna wrap them all up into a bow and just talk about them all at the same time. Burger King is amazing. McDonald's is amazing. Wendy's, Pizza Hut, and
Long John Silver's.
Long John Silver's are good too. It's like, but are they though?
Maybe one of those, not so much.
If you're just gonna lump them all together like that, when you speak in depth on the other ones, as in depth as you could,
Yes.
but then just go, these are also good.
Who? This is just off topic. I know. I know what we're doing. It's almost 3 hours, people.
What?
I
Off
understand.
topic? I don't think we do that here.
Who craves fish so much that they go, I want to go to a fast food fish place?
They have a good fish taco.
When's the last time you had it?
I don't know if they sell it anymore. That's how long.
They sure sell the double down. A meal for $12.
I'm not gonna touch that because it's in they took away the sauce and the sauce
The
was the
sauce,
best part.
really? What was the point? Now it's just meat and bacon?
No, it's mayo or you can get a spicy sauce.
Oh, that's weak.
I'm just looking at the Long John Silver menu because why
Don't
not?
forget that chicken we saw where you were like, what the f are y'all doing? It looked like y'all dumped it in the fish grease. Because who would want, like, I want a 20 piece of popcorn shrimp from Long John Silver's.
Somebody got to.
But how could you want popcorn shrimp that bad where you get a 20 piece for $8?
They don't list how many shrimps you get. It's just you get some for $4.
Maybe if you click it, they have an option for how much you get.
You can get a 12-piece family meal, which is 12 pieces mix and match fish and chicken, 3 family size, and 12 hash puppies, whatever they are, for $41.
What?
On what earth are we getting 12 pieces of chicken and a tub of mac and cheese for $41?
I thought you were gonna be like, oh, it's like $8. Oh, they just skip. They're just lowball. Just get it out of here.
And that chicken looks so sad. Next time we go over to the other house, we're going to have to try that.
Why?
Because it's not fair to just slam on them
Yes, it is.
for not even knowing.
Yes, it is.
That's not fair.
These are the ones. These are the pictures they put up to entice people.
Sure.
And you just went, the chicken looks sad.
It does. But
They still do have chicken,
they
fish
do.
tacos.
They got the in long bread of the Burger King chicken sandwich. Nobody like that bread.
I guess they do.
They still make the tacos.
$10 sea shares. 15 shrimp, or 15 grilled shrimp, or popcorn shrimp. No amount noted.
I don't know, man. Just hold out your hand and get some shrimp. We'll just dump it in your hand. We got plenty.
I'm a scoop. You let me know.
What I can get for $5, I'll let you know. We gonna find out together.
Just say something and I'm gonna hit the button. And we gonna reach this $5 for you. Let me get 3 popcorn shrimp. Alright. Keep it going. Let me get a cod. Nope. You're a little over there.
Let me get 3 of them chickens halfway there.
Could I get a drink? What size? You can get some water. And we need to factor in tax, my guy. Let me just...
The very essence of who they are as people. He orchestrates a borderline rock opera, pouring every ounce of emotion.
You listen to a rock opera in Metalocalypse. And how was that?
I also listened to the Queen rock opera.
And how was that?
Damien Albarn also had a rock opera.
And how was that?
Very, very good.
Would you compare that to the Zack Snyder Justice?
Not fair, because I don't remember it. And he's just saying this.
Okay.
Because they're just more words.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to listen to the Aquaman theme a little bit. Aquaman theme. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Place I didn't expect.
Well, okay. Well, all right. Disagree.
Skill he has to offer as a composer into what is undoubtedly his magnum
He looks a little like Jim Norton.
opus. If you were nervous about Junkie XL scoring without Hans Zimmer, it's time to wake up and kick that trepidation to the curb. Look, I'm sure Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't going to be for everyone. If you're not a fan of
If you're not a fan of good movies.
No.
No, we're not talking about their running. We're not talking about that.
Zack Snyder's
They're
Justice
on
League
wires.
isn't
It's
going
not
to be
fair.
for everyone.
Dude, what's with the noodle arms?
If you're not a fan of his brand of filmmaking, I can't say Justice League
What's
will
his brand of
necessarily win
filmmaking?
you over.
Okay. I can be not a fan of a thing, and something can win me over by being good.
Yes.
You're
You were
basically
not that-
saying this is not good enough to win anybody over.
You weren't that big of a fan of slice of life stuff.
Nope.
Then stuff started hitting.
I liked Ichigo 100%, and I was just like, okay, whatever. I liked Change 123, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then Comey was the one that really and it hit me. Okay, I guess we just like slice of life stuff. Started reading them, and now it is amongst my favorite genres. If something is good enough, it will sway you. You're just saying this is not good enough to sway dissenters, which means it's probably not very good. You are blinded by your love of all the things surrounding it.
However, it is arguably his most successful venture to date, so perhaps I'm wrong there.
I don't believe it's successful. As successful as 300 or something.
Yeah, we would need to talk about some numbers or something, especially considering this was around the time where it first came out. So what is he judging this on? Unless he's just judging it on it's successful in the fact that he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish.
But 300 was that too.
I don't think that he put the gay sex that he wanted to in it.
But he didn't put the gay sex he wanted to in Best v Soup. He said Batman could get raped in a prison. That could happen in my film. And it didn't.
Oh, well. Different strokes for different folks.
Not for Batman, apparently.
I hope I'm wrong there. What I can say is it's beaming with hope and optimism, emerging from the dark and brooding shadow of...
hope he was wrong with?
That it won't sway people. He hopes he's wrong, that it wouldn't be good enough to do so.
Batman v Superman as a celebration of heroes, myth, legend, and the light of justice. It is the ultimate superhero team-up film, delivering on deep...
Movies are so lame.
poignant character drama and comic panel action brought to life. While a daunting 4-hour endeavor, the time absolutely flies by, but nevertheless leaves a lasting impression you soon won't forget.
I forgot a lot of this movie.
Zack Snyder's confidence, laser-focused direction, and love and passion for these characters is what makes this film work. It bursts...
Bro, he does not understand Superman or Batman. He created a Superman and Batman he wanted to. And he's passionate about the Superman and Batman he was able to tell the story about.
He had a story to tell and he just plastered Batman and Superman over it.
Through the screen, connecting directly with the audience in such a profound way. And for that, and all of the dedicated fan support to see this film finally see the light of day.
Is that them?
I don't think so. I don't remember what S.H.I.E.L.D. looked like.
Can we not nickname him S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I don't remember what his first name was.
It started with a G, I think. Gibby?
Gibby? That's not a name.
Gibby is a name. You don't think Gibby's a name?
Well, anything could be a name, but...
No, I think Gibby's a fairly popular name.
I don't think so.
Gibby was in iCarly. Gibby Haynes.
Was that a person or the actor?
That was the character.
Okay, so that don't count.
Gibby was a film.
Okay, that's not a person.
It's a lot of iCarly.
Safe search on.
Son of Gilbert. Gibby is a boy's name of Old English origin, and the meaning of Gibby is son of Gilbert.
Gibby Gottfried?
I was trying to see popularity, but it looks like this page does not have it.
You've laid a claim. You can't prove it.
If people are being named Gibby, though. Scottish origin. There you go.
Again. With my name being my name.
Famous people named Gibby. An American pro golfer. An American baseball player. Football player.
Wait a second.
American NFL player.
Chill out. There's no way that we can fact check golf and baseball. You know darn well we don't watch any of those. You can just be like, oh, sure.
It has the name right next
Nobody's going to go into that and check for Gibby Johnson.
I think one of them was named Johnson.
Yeah, that's real.
What's it named? I mean, it had it next to it.
That mug was swinging with Babe Ruth. That's how old that name was.
Haynes Brack. Welch. Mbasala. It was some Nigerian or something.
I just want to say thank you. This movie is about the power of family, made possible by the power of family. And it's such a beautiful thing to witness. Again, I'm not here to convince you of anything, though it'd be an awesome bonus if I did. I'm just here to express my love and appreciation for what will undoubtedly go down as one of my favorite comic book films of all time. Hey guys,
One tier wrap.
thank you so much for checking out this video. Seriously, oh my god, I can't express how much I love this movie. I mean, I have always loved Zack
No, he's expressed it. He just hasn't explained
Explored it.
Snyder's vision for the DCEU, and this film just reinforces that he was truly on to something special. And I really hope that Warner Brothers reconsiders and gives him back, the reins to this cinematic universe, because I think he's got more incredible stories up his sleeves. I mean, come on, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. But if you haven't done so already, be sure to give this video a like, share it around with your friends, and subscribe to the Film Speak channel for more video essays such as this, movie reviews, television recaps, all that good stuff. We like to say this is the place where the conversation continues after the credits, and of course, we would love to have you be a part of that conversation. Next week, we're digging into Kong Skull Island. Got a nice video essay coming your way.
I'm not trying to hear that.
The Hall of Fame soft band. My thing is not explaining yourself.
You are very much correct. I'm going to 9.5.
I hate it.
I understand.
I despise it.
I understand. We all have our triggers.
Yes.
And yours is that. Yeah, we can't even explain the lack of explaining because there's nothing to explain.
Crazy.
What are we doing Saturday? What are we doing for the 100?
What are we doing Saturday? What are we doing for the 100?
Don't know. It's always...
And we never know.
We never know, and we never will.
We'll do it.
We will do it.
It's and then it'll be here and gone, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Yep.
We need a way out.
We need to slowly integrate Eric and Corey and Chris and all of them. Just be like, all right, we're going to take a little step back.
The managers, let them do it. Because this stuff is...
When can we get AI voice replication?
I think we could do that by now, surely. But we have such fluctuation in our voices.
Yeah, that's the real crazy part. People would be able to understand that this is not us talking. Yeah, don't know what we're doing. There's no real reason to wrap up either. We're at 3 hours. This is ridiculous.
There's nothing to talk about. I'm sleepy. I want to get back to my thing. I'm gonna go wee woo. You're gonna hit that button, and then we're gonna dab on out the room. Well, this is your room, so I'm gonna.
I mean, I'm also gonna dab out the room because I gotta go get something to eat.
Well, you don't necessarily need to dab out the room. That's your own choice, but I'm forced to do so by contract.
My body, my choice. I got you.
Okay, well, we're going down a different path. We already talked about the whole Bible stuff, and now we're doing this. I don't think that we're equipped for this level of conversation, but if you think so, then we're going to have it.
Hey, well, whites want to live too, you know.
Nuts.
What was with Black Lives Matter? Whites want to live too, you know. Those words should have never been
Triton was talking about the worst in line to revisit it. I forgot about that.
To be fair, to be the most charitable.
Go.
At that point, it may not have been the fervor, and he may not have understood how far it could have gone.
Surely, as a non-black, you would go, things are happening outside of my race. And I don't know what Nux is. Mm-hmm. That may have been
potential
caused
non-black
by my race, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps I shouldn't joke about it in such a manner.
Here's the thing. Was it a joke?
We woo.
Because
we woo. We woo.